smack dab in it. Hey, tomorrow, hey, don't go away. On the freedom, just might come your way.
As long as I'm president of the United States, Iran will never be allowed to have a nuclear weapon. Good morning. I'm pleased to inform you the American people should be extremely grateful and happy. No Americans were harmed in last night's attack by the Iranian regime. We suffered no casualties. All of our soldiers are safe, and only minimal damage was sustained at our military bases. Our great American forces are prepared for anything. Iran appears to be standing down, which is a good thing for all parties concerned and a very good thing for the world.
Want to get it off your chest? Call the Dave Weinbaum Show. They accuse this show of being run by boobs. Well, let me tell you something about us boobs. We're real and we're spectacular. Want politics and fun sprinkled with a lot of laughs? You're in the right place. Heard in 50 states and 98 countries, we just put 11 years of radio excellence into the can. Now, in our 12th year, the Dave Weinbaum Show is on the air.
Seems Dems love to be kicked around by foreign terrorists. And a few Republicans as well. They were okay with hostages being taken by Iran in 1979. Forget about 9/11. They've already forgotten about that. Reagan walking away from 241 Marines killed in Lebanon. First Soleimani job after 1979. Yeah, he was in on that too. Benghazi. And now we have a president who has stopped this madness. He has sworn to protect all Americans, soldiers, civilians, even liberals from the murdering spree for all that was funded and encouraged by our last president to the tune of $150 billion and $1.8 billion in cash put on a tarmac in Iran. So Trump, after patiently warning and being ignored, and after taking out ISIS and its leader and second in command, has Soleimani and the next in charge killed just after they landed where? Not in Tehran. No. In Baghdad, Iraq. And this is after a Benghazi-like attack took place at the U.S. Embassy in Iraq. Gee, coincidence? Well, let's set off the American liberal wailing, and prediction of World War III by the Iranians and by what Trump did. The crying louder and louder by the Democrats. And what did this turn out to be? World War III, a 5-second war. It was all over. As we can see, I know there was a few things that happened, and there's a few things that may happen, but it was all over. When Trump looked the bully in the eyes and said, "You don't get to kill Americans anymore." That's it. So, the left is so amazingly outraged by this that they're backing the Iranians against the United States of America. Can you believe that? They hate Trump so much that they're now idolizing Soleimani, comparing him to JFK and to Martin Luther King, while calling for Trump's impeachment. The problem is that Trump is no ordinary person nor ordinary president. He has amazing timing. He has the ability to show patience. He warned Iran many, many times. He offered to talk to Iran about new deals. And then when that all failed and Soleimani decided that he was going to kill a United States citizen and foment an attack on U.S. soil, he eviscerated Soleimani and then probably went out and played a round of golf. Between tweets. This was Reagan-esque. He tore down that wall of illogic that Dems have that made it okay for jihadists to murder Americans, Jews, Christians, and other Muslims. And the concept of this is so simple, one wonders how we lost it for such a long period of time, even decades. Hi there, I'm Dave Weinbaum. I'm your radio talk show host. I'm standing here. Finally, they got me a mic that works. You know, I've been here a couple years now, but I think I rated a mic that works. Don't you think?
It's one of the best made. You know,
I don't know. It sounds good to me. I don't know why.
Real good. Actually.
All right.
Yes.
I sound almost as good as Stan. I'm here with Stan Hines.
How are you?
My lovely bride will not be here today. She had an accident last week. And she fell in the parking lot and called me and says, "Come get me. I think I'm hurt." So I took her to the hospital emergency where they did a great job. And a doctor, you know, I didn't think anything was, I thought she might have twisted it and stuff like that, but she was hurting real bad. So we had x-rays taken. Dr. Brock did an excellent job. He comes back with the x-rays, or comes back with the news about the x-rays, and he says, "I'm afraid it's a little bit more serious." And, you know, he was smiling while he said it. "She broke her humerus." And I said to him, I says, "You know, I don't find this funny at all." I swear to God that happened.
I bet. Yeah.
Yeah. And so she's got a couple of, they're like hair fractures, but one is like a little bit more serious. So she's got a couple of fractures in her upper humerus.
Is that arm or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that, what does that mean? Well, she's in a lot of pain, and but we went in and saw Dr. Fredericks.
Yes.
Who is Senator Fredericks? We had a little conversation about that, and he says, "Well, you know, it doesn't look like you need an operation. It's just, you know, rest it and stuff like that." So now I am the designated driver, cooker. I even gave her a bath. I don't remember giving a bath. Like 40 years ago, I gave my children's baths. You know, I wanted to see if she wanted any rubber duckies in her bath. You know, it's weird. Anyways, that's my personal story, and I'm sticking to it.
Right.
And I'm telling you, I mean what I say, like President Trump. Come on. All right. Now I don't know who this caller is, JJ, but what's your name and where are you calling from?
This is JJ from beautiful, wet Rolla, Missouri.
Well, thank you for waiting for that long introduction. I do appreciate that, and for that, obviously, we're going to play your song. And let's get the blood flowing on this show. Come on, baby. All over the place. We will rock you. Come on, Dixon, I don't hear you. We will rock you. Walk it on your face, you big disgrace.
Waving your face all over the place.
We will rock you. All right, JJ. Are you revving to go now?
I'm ready to go. Lisa injuring herself, I don't like that much. That's not humorous at all.
What's that? No, it isn't.
Her getting hurt.
And I know, but you know what? I'm a Jew. Us Jews deal with pain a little differently than most people, in that we always try to find the humor in something, just to, throw. That's why whenever all the bad news out here and all this stuff is so grim, that if I just did a show like everybody else, you might come away feeling bad. And I don't want people to feel bad. I want them to understand the news, but be able to smile too every once in a while. Is that wrong?
I come away from this show energized every Friday.
Well, that's what I'm looking for. Okay? But I don't want you to be energized in a way that you're energized to be just sad and hopeless. There's hope. There's a lot of hope. We're being shown that with the advance of this president, think about what President Hillary would have been like. Holy cow.
Please. Yeah. Now you're trying to depress me.
Well, no. Well, don't think about it long. Think about what you got now, and you're going to be twice as happy.
Well, you want to be entertained, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
I am entertained.
Is this not why you are here?
I am no journalist.
Wait. No.
Well, hold on a second.
Wine bomb. Did you know I was popular in ancient Rome? Wow.
That's kind of scary. I'm sure that they teach in journalism school up in Columbia, that in Journalism 101, that words have meaning, and your choice of words should be done with some care. I was watching and listening to ABC, PBS, and NPR, the national propaganda radio, among some others. And when General Soleimani was taken out, all three of those network talking head commentators used the word assassinated.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you look assassinated up, it's got a whole slew of meanings underneath there, but the facts remain this. This was a military man, a terrorist, who was taken out by the military. That does not qualify for assassinated.
A designated terrorist by the government, and not just Donald Trump's government, since I believe 2002. And he was a terrorist a long time before that as well. But since about 2002, he's been designated by our government as a terrorist. Yes.
Well, the word assassinated.
No, you're absolutely right.
These clowns are appealing to their base, and their base thinks that assassinated is a whole lot better because it reflects badly upon the U.S. government and Donald J. Trump. But assassinated was a wrong word. So I popped off emails to all three of those networks that I just mentioned and said, your choice of words is pretty bad, and it's clear that you're a left-leaning bunch of bozos, or words to that effect.
Well, I mean, it's good that you did that. They need to know that, hey, play the, can you play the extra with, what's his name? Todd, Chuck Todd.
Which one was
now there's a clown.
I don't know which one it was. Which one was it? Do you know?
Yeah, it was
I got it here.
number
three.
three. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Listen to this.
I don't want to be dismissive of people who support the president. Right. I think they're owed our respect, and they certainly have mine. But they feel that the so-called elites in Washington have not paid attention to them, that they don't understand their lives, they don't understand their concerns, that they and they're not being heard. And they feel that the president is actually listening to them and addressing their concerns. And so they tend to believe him. And they're deeply suspicious of so-called elites like us, at least people who are described as elites. And so they turn to him.
You know, Dean, this is something, frankly, my late father was one of those folks. Those New Yorkers, they think they're better than us. He would say that every once in a while. Do you feel that at the New York Times, because a lot of people don't listen to the New York Times reporting simply because they say, well, you don't understand my life, so why should I believe what you report? Do you think you have to culturally get the New York Times as in touch with Manhattan and Brooklyn as they are with Rolla, Missouri?
Okay, I wanted to play that because they don't understand that we have brains, that we're not just a bunch of clods out here who don't have the ability to think, and we're just all these emotional, stinky Walmart shoppers who are, deplorable and irredeemable. You know what I'm saying? They don't get it. Why not?
I know what you're saying, and here's the deal on that particular clip. When Stan played it, the fellow being interviewed said "feel" twice. Chuck Todd said "feel" once. Liberals feel.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. They're projecting. They're not looking at the facts.
Well, I feel that they're fools.
Well, either they don't know the facts, which makes them ignorant, or they know the facts and are lying about them, which makes them evil, in my opinion.
They prefer to ignore the facts, but it comes down to the libs, the commies, who call them who you want. They feel this, they feel that, they feel all sorts of things. I feel your pain. Thinking people have feelings too, but thinking people use that plain old linear, logical thinking that has made this country great. And there's the basic difference between Republicans and Democrats as a whole. Say our buddies in Iran have kind of stepped in it for two things. I think, number one, their missiles missed, and there's been much ado in the media about, well, was that intentional? Was that accidental? Well, we knew those things were coming long before they came. Our people got to safety. They blew up a bunch of sand. Whether they intended to waste their missiles on blowing up sand or not, we'll probably never know the answer to that. But it's interesting that the Dems have made a big deal out of that. And the second thing Iran has stepped in is shooting down that Ukrainian jet.
Yeah.
Now, there's video available that looks to me like a rocket headed up for a civilian airliner and blowing it right out of the sky.
You could see the explosion, allegedly, of what this was. You could see it exploding.
The Iranians have made all sorts of quick excuses to say, no, we didn't do that.
Right.
Well, let me tell you, as among the many things that I am a pilot. And the first thing a pilot is going to do when he's got problems, mechanical problems, he's going to call air traffic control and say, I need to return to the airport.
Yeah.
Nothing like that happened. These guys were taken totally by surprise, blew the belly of the airplane out. You don't have to do time to do anything except, praise God or praise Allah, and down you go.
Yep.
I think the mainstream media is really soft pedaling that aspect. They would like it to look like Iran did not shoot a rocket at that aircraft, but I think
anything that fits the narrative of Trump is a warmongering idiot who is well past being capable of being the president of the United States. I mean, that's the way they really think. And yet everything he does, from the economy, from the status of us in the world, which is positive, it seems to fly right past them, and they have to double down on the nasty things they do to Trump, to the point to where they revealed their hands. They revealed everything, that they are just hate Donald Trump, and they hate his idea of America. Therefore, they hate America right now.
They are choosing to ignore the facts.
Exactly.
And those of us out here in the deplorable heartland, we digest the facts. We look them over. We think about them. And
yeah, I mean, I would feel awful if I thought I was, if I wasn't telling the truth here to the best of my knowledge, and that's why I have pretty much an open line with people in terms of challenging me. Now, if you're going to get redundant and you're going to sit around and say the same darn thing every single week without any new argument, then I'm pretty sure I'm not going to. I have to entertain people too. I can't just go over the same argument every week about why you don't like some person. You know what I'm saying?
Stan Hines is king of the hill in that studio, and he can certainly cause them to make no noise at all.
Well, that's the whole idea, and that's why.
One last thing, Dave.
Yes,
and that is Comrade Pelosi still hanging on to those articles of impeachment like there's some sort of mantra. She's only got a few days left before the Senate takes action on this thing. And,
I think she's going to turn him in. I think she's she knows she's lost her hand, and they were talking about that just as I was leaving the house today. That she's probably going to turn him in and just hope for the best, because she's not going to control the Senate at this point. I think it's pretty obvious that even the Senate Democrats are saying, "Turn the damn things in already."
Right.
I have expended some energy and some of my time trying to ascertain what advantage she would have to hold on to those articles, and I've found nothing.
There was a clip of John Dean from Nixon years. The Whitewater mastermind or whatever he was, and he was advising her to keep him. And somebody said that she actually took that advice. Well, how'd that work out, Nancy Pants?
What
Not so
possible advantage
Not so good.
is there to her holding those?
Yeah.
I've not been able to find it, but the turtle in the Senate has actually showed me a little more spine than what I had given him credit for. And I'm anxious for this to get to a trial.
And we should be going
to be uncovered.
We should be real proud of our senator here, Senator Hawley.
Yeah.
Who issued a bill out that if she doesn't turn in those things in 25 days, he's going to move to have the case dismissed.
Yep.
All right, for lack of evidence.
Good move.
Either you put your evidence in. I mean, could you imagine me being a prosecutor and I get this evidence and the judge says, "Okay, can you submit your case?" And I say to him, No, that's not the way it's going to work here, Your Honor. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to fix it. You're going to fix this thing to where I get to call anybody I want to, and I will actually put more articles in whenever I damn well please, and you're just not going to control me. You know what the judge's next words are going to be? Case dismissed, and he'll refer me to the American Bar Association for getting my license canceled.
Yeah,
that's what would happen.
Well,
exactly.
That would be case dismissed with prejudice.
And
right. This means you can't bring it up again.
Well, yeah.
So I think there's.
I think she's got to cave at this point. She has no choice. Either she caves, or she comes up looking like the biggest idiot and getting a lot of Democrats not elected again in 2018. I think she's toast, and that's why DeAnna Lorraine is so important to us. She is running against Nancy Pelosi, and she'll be on the show today around, let's say, 11 o'clock. Anyways, JJ,
I can hardly wait, Dave.
Thank you so much, my friend. God bless you for being the opening act on the Dave Weinbaum Show. Yes, sir. All right, thanks. I tell you what do we got here? Oh, we got a phone. Attaboy. Attaboy, just take your time. Hi there, welcome to the Dave Weinbaum Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello?
This is Chester from North of Doolittle.
Okay, Chester, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Just want to let a little update on the shoot down.
Please.
Okay, first of all, the thing that gave everything away was when they were showing the pictures on the news. There's sections of the airplane wing and the fuselage, and they're riddled with holes, which suggests an explosion, you know, like away from the airplane, like a missile or something blowing up. The today, the news from the UK Daily Mail is that the Iranians are already scraping up and removing everything with bulldozers.
Yeah.
So the inspection teams from whether Canada or the UK, whatever, who was invited, or Ukraine, they haven't even arrived, and they're already cleaning up the accident site.
Not surprising. They say these kinds of missiles would naturally explode right in front of the cockpit.
Well,
right?
Okay, it's like this. A missile. People have this idea that a heat-seeking missile goes and blows up, like in the engine or something, and blows the engine up, and then the airplane falls to the ground. What actually happens with whether it's a heat seeker or radar, they fly up towards the plane, and then at some last moment, when it's just as it starts to get away from the plane, it blows up.
Right.
Proximity.
Okay.
And then, so that's like at its nearest point. As soon as it starts moving away, it's at its nearest point, it blows up. You're talking about, when they talk 12 pounds of high explosive, that's like what's inside of a 105 howitzer shell.
Okay.
You've got shrapnel fragments going all over the place, and it just riddles the plane. Now, whether it takes out the crew, it takes out wiring, it just punctures the aircraft. So you have catastrophic damage. You've got a good chance that the pilots are killed, but it really doesn't matter. The plane is riddled. It's like as if you just tore it apart,
or at least unable to call in the emergency.
All kinds of things happen. Wiring goes, everything goes at once. You got an explosion, literally. Feet away. It's well within the kill radius of the explosion itself. Plus all the metal fragments that are flying through. So the plane is suddenly made into Swiss cheese.
Yep. And we certainly have a bunch of denial. Thank you so much, Chester. Have a great day. Hi to Martha.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. And I tell you what, you got anything for me?
The new Amazon Echo has everyone asking Alexa for help.
Alexa, what time is it? What the hell is wrong with this blasted thing? Amanda!
But the latest technology isn't always easy to use for people of a certain age.
These kids done bought me a busted machine again. Odessa!
That's why Amazon partnered with AARP to present the new Amazon Echo Silver, the only smart speaker device designed specifically to be used by the greatest generation. It's super loud and responds to any name even remotely close to Alexa, so they can find out the weather.
Allegra, what is the weather outside?
It is 74 degrees and sunny.
Huh?
It is 74 degrees and sunny.
Where?
Outside.
What about it?
The temperature outside is 74 degrees and sunny.
I don't know about that.
The latest in sports.
Clarissa, how many did old Satchel strike out last night?
Satchel Paige died in 1982.
How many he get?
Satchel Paige is dead.
He what now?
Died.
Who did?
Satchel Paige.
I don't know about that.
All right, we're back on the show, and thank you, Stan. We're going to listen to the Rabbi shortly after this break. Call the show. We got lots to talk about. 573-364-4433, and get it off your chest.
Need to create a unique gift for your sweetheart? Want a gun, watch engraved? Need a trophy gift or award? Go no further than Kent Jewelry, 907 North Pine Street, downtown Rolla. Call 573-364-1030 and take your bag of jewels to Kent and ask to have your jewelry inspected and cleaned for free. Kent is my jeweler. Make him yours. 907 North Pine Street, downtown Rolla, 364-1030.
The Akar Real Estate sign in the yard is your first step to sold. Whether buying or selling, put the best team of realtors to work for you. Akar Real Estate is the top-selling real estate agency in 4 counties. They work diligently to make your real estate transactions happen. Independently owned and operated for over 12 years by Delek Akar, broker-owner. When you want results that move you, call the professionals at Akar Real Estate at 368-SELL. That's Akar Real Estate at 368-7355.
Sales results obtained from Maris Incorporated.
Does your trip to the dentist office sound like this? If so, it's time to come see the friendly staff at Forum Dental, where they make dentistry simple and fun. Forum Dental is committed to patient satisfaction and high-quality dental care. So come to Forum Dental, where they do it all, from teeth cleaning and whitening to bridges and crowns and so much more. At Forum Dental, they make every dental experience a pleasant one. Forum Dental, working together to be better. Visit their website at forumdental.com.
Owning a business can be tough, and knowing what insurance you need can be confusing. Help is here with the Daniel & Henry Company. Daniel & Henry Company is an independent insurance broker providing a full range of risk management and insurance products and services for clients locally, nationally, and internationally. They find cost-effective solutions for your business and personal needs, from work comp, general liability, property and auto, and all points in between. Protecting your business is their business. Call Richard Boyette at the Daniel & Henry Company today, 314-444-5011.
If you're in the food business and your walk-in cooler quits, do you think you can call just any heating and refrigeration guy to fix it? Think again. Time is money, and you don't want to have to wait while an air conditioner repairman tries to figure out what's wrong. At Cox Brothers, food equipment repair is who we are. We have the specialized training and know-how to protect your expensive and fragile inventory while we repair your broken equipment. When you need food service repairs, go right to the experts. Cox Brothers Food Equipment Repair in St. James. We'll keep the hot side hot and the cold side cold.
Come see the professionals at Brown Vet Clinic of Rolla, where they promise to place your pet's health and wellness above all considerations. They communicate openly with you about the individual preventative needs of your pet and help protect them from common infectious and contagious diseases while using the best available methods, no matter how big or small the animal. The staff is there to help you 24/7 and will get you an appointment as quickly as possible. Give Brown Vet Clinic a call today for all your animal needs. 364-1919.
Automated Business Systems in Salem is your one-stop source for office supplies, computers, printers, and point-of-sale software and hardware for your business. And if you're wanting to build a computer specific to your needs, whether business or personal, ABS in Salem can do it. Computer repairs, virus removal. ABS is a full-service computer repair service. Bring it to them or they'll come to you. They are your brother authorized service center in the area. See them online at www.abssalem.com or stop by their office at 902 East Scenic Rivers Boulevard in Salem.
Follow me at daveweinbaum.net, at the Dave Weinbaum on Twitter, and streaming live on the Dave Weinbaum Show Facebook page.
For far too long, all the way back to 1979 to be exact, nations have tolerated Iran's destructive and destabilizing behavior in the Middle East and beyond. Those days are over. Iran has been the leading sponsor of terrorism, and their pursuit of nuclear weapons threatens the civilized world. We will never let that happen. Last week, we took decisive action to stop a ruthless terrorist from threatening American lives. At my direction, the United States military eliminated the world's top terrorist, Qasem Soleimani.
Back on the show, and right now we got a special treat for you, and that is Rabbi Moshe Rothchild, who called all the way from Efrat, Israel yesterday and gave a real great interview, so hit it, Stan.
Yeah, 1 second, Dave. You were talking to another rabbi? Sounds like you're cheating on me.
No, actually, I'm cheating with you on him because he was the first rabbi. Listen to this. I got rabbis fighting over me. This is kind of weird. Ladies and gentlemen, the second most powerful in Israel, and according to his wife, you eat in his own house, official rabbi to the state of Missouri and the Dave Weinbaum Show, and future rabbi to the Trump Third Temple Hotel, Golf Course, Casino, and Spa. Please welcome all the way from Efrat, Israel, Rabbi Moshe Rothchild. Woo-hoo! We're hearing that in Tehran. Whoa. Hi, Rabbi. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great, Dave. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, could you please explain the Iranian 5-second war with their war with the USA from an Israeli point of view?
Well, what's going on with Iran and the U.S. is what we experience pretty much every single day here in Israel. We have to constantly be vigilant. We try to take out the terrorists, and we have to be prepared for them to respond. I mean, that's what we've been going through since really 1948. And so we are very sympathetic and very supportive, but the U.S. did the right thing. And, the right thing is not always easy, and the easy thing is not always right, but they did the right thing here.
What did Israel and Netanyahu contribute to this, and why didn't Israel do it first?
Well, it's a good question. I'm not sure why Israel didn't do it first. Perhaps they wanted to, but they were concerned for the retaliation. The United States, remember, is not really in striking distance of Iran. Iran can launch missiles at Israel. It's close enough. In 1991, Iraq fired 39 missiles that landed in Tel Aviv. I mean, we're in firing distance. Yeah. So there's definitely a different consideration when Israel chooses to act. So I think that had a big part of it. But Israel provides the United States with on-the-ground intelligence, and that's what happens here.
Now, Netanyahu just mimicked Trump's threat to Iran, which is if you harm an American, we will go after you.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
That's right, because you got to, the United States and Israel are allies, and this is in both our countries' interests. We, as we've said on the air many times, they see the United States as the great Satan and Israel as the little Satan, and this is a global war on terror. And if you're not vigilant and you don't take the offensive, you're just going to take hits. So, Israel is standing by the United States on this.
Now, you had going back to the United States and the anti-Semitic attacks in Brooklyn and the rest of the Jewish areas out in New York. Blacks in Brooklyn were interviewed because these attacks are just about all exclusively blacks on Jews. And they asked them, well, why are you doing this? Why are the black people upset at the Jews? And mostly it's coming out as the typical anti-Semitic stuff. Well, they own everything,
right.
Or they think they're smarter than everybody and all that stuff. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I saw the video. If your listeners don't know what you're referring to, it's on your website, Dave.
Right, thanks.
How this Jewish fellow went around Brooklyn asking African Americans why these attacks are happening. And it was incredible. They're repeating so many of the typical anti-Semitic ideas that Jews are not really Americans, that we own everything, we're throwing the black people out, and we don't help anybody. What they don't know, statistically, the Jewish community is the most charitable community in the United States. I mean, the things that they're saying were just completely typical anti-Semitic lies. And it's very painful because the Jewish community stood with the African-American community during the civil rights marches. Martin Luther King Jr. was very good friends with Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, who was a great Jewish philosopher, and they stood together and marched in Selma. And so what's going on is really a shame.
I'm pretty sure the average black in Brooklyn doesn't know about that. They're not being taught that.
No, and next Sunday, Dave, I'm going to be speaking in a black church in East St. Louis, and this is going to be my topic.
Is that? Oh, great. Now, was that with Jimmy and his people?
Yeah, that's right. Jimmy's
cool.
pastor came to Israel on my free trip. You're welcome to join us that morning if you want.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting event.
When is this?
It's next Sunday, the 19th, in East St. Louis.
I thought you were going to be in Pastor Pat's church that day.
I'm going to be there in the afternoon at 3 p.m. I get around. I get around.
All right. Well, this guy speaks all over the world trying to unite Christians and Jews, and now we've got him in through the efforts of a good friend of mine, who is a McDonald's owner operator in East St. Louis, by the way, amongst other places. We got him going to be speaking to a black church. How about that? That's really cool.
Yeah, it's called the Greater New Hope Baptist Church, and it'll be fantastic. And Dave, I'm going to be live in the station with you next Friday.
I know that. That's incredible. I can just bring my pillow and go to sleep and let you do all the work. You know, every once in a while I'll say,
we're gonna have a good time.
Every once in a while I'll get up and say, "Oh, you're up, Putz," and I'll just go back to sleep again. What the hell? Anyways,
it's gonna be fun.
Oh, it should be. Not only did Iran not harm any Americans, but they may have blown up a plane from the Ukraine to Tehran, most of whom were Canadian for some reason. 176 died, and Iran refuses to turn over the black box. What do you think happened?
Yeah. If they're refusing to turn over the black box, I think it's pretty obvious what happened. That this was definitely a case of the Iranians blowing up the plane. And the question is, who was on that plane? What were these people doing in Iran? Were they, maybe Iran saw them as agitators, as, they were the ones who were getting behind these anti-government protests, and maybe Iran blew up the plane. So I don't know if we'll ever know.
Allegedly, it was about a wedding party or something. I guess there were Iranians living in Canada going back to Iran to get married. So,
okay.
So who knows? I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we'll find out in the near future. Know. Other than DaveWeinbaum.net, where can people find and contribute to you?
They can go to my website, IsraelAlliance.org, IsraelAlliance.org. We would love to hear from you guys.
You know, Rabbi, my neighborhood was so tough, we played horseshoes while the horses were still wearing them. Ladies and gentlemen, Rabbi Moshe Rothchild calling all the way from Efrat, Israel. He'll be here live next week. I'll let you know about going to East St. Louis, all right?
All right, Dave, but one more thing I want to tell you is this week I've been guiding a guy named Jake LaTurner, who's the state treasurer for Kansas, and he's running for Congress in Kansas.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, I got a few listeners there, so okay, thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, Shabbat
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, my friend.
Right,
hi to Yonit and the kids.
Take care. Shabbat Shalom. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Pretty interesting to have him as a friend. You know, I just sit here in Rolla, Missouri, like Chuck Todd said, all those people in Rolla, Missouri. Gee, I wonder where he got that from. And even pronounce the name right. People look at it first, they say, Rolla? You're from Rolla?
Right.
Because it looks like that, right?
Yeah.
So he knew to call it Rolla, Missouri.
That is pretty interesting.
So do you think maybe somebody might have, or he might have come upon this show somewhere?
Somehow.
And is he getting the idea from me that we're a bunch of dumb idiots out here who don't know what the hell the facts are? He can't possibly, if he listens to the show and listens to the experts that I have on the show, say that kind of stuff with any meaning at all. I mean, How dumb is this guy? You know, you should have listened to your father. The New York Times and the rest of you elites don't know what the hell you're talking about. Simply, you are ignoring the facts that are out there, or you are choosing to ignore them, which means you are evil. Am I wrong? Call the show, 573-364-4433.
You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, you call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made. It's a tactic, and it's self-evident.
So did you catch that? What she says is you start out with something that's a lie, and you throw it out there, and then the press picks up on it, and they write stories about it, and you say, see, it's written in the press, so it must be true. This is exactly what they did with Trump. They demonized him. It was all fake about the Russia collusion. This is what they did with Kavanaugh. It was all fake about these women coming and saying that he did these things.
Okay, we're back on the show, and we're going to have a different version of that someday, maybe. But call the show, 573-364-4433, and get it off your chest.
Make the whole family happy by bringing home Lee's famous recipe chicken. Choose from one of our many different specials, like the 16-piece classic or breast strip family meal, to the 8 different daily lunch specials. Call today for your next catering at 573-364-9330, or visit us on the web at leesrolla.com, or just stop by Lee's famous recipe chicken in Rolla at 1902 North Bishop Avenue.
Why settle for the forecast when you can control it? Hartley's Climate Control is your locally owned heating, air conditioning, plus so much more company. Hartley's offers residential and commercial sales, service, and installation in the areas of heating and cooling, hearth and home, handyman services, and more to the Rolla, St. James, and surrounding areas. Call 573-368-3163 or visit them online at www.hartleyscc.com. Hartley's Climate Control, community-born, community-raised, community serving.
Price Chopper and Rolla for the best quality products and the freshest produce in the area. With a full-service deli, bakery, and butcher cafe, you can feed the whole family with ease. Cold cuts to sushi, barbecue, and a huge salad bar. Kick back and relax and enjoy your lunch in our dining room, located in Forum Plaza on Forum Drive in Rolla. Don't forget to sign up for a rewards program and save money on groceries today. For orders and catering, give them a call today at 573-364-1771. Open 7 days a week, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Price Chopper and Rolla.
Reality check number 31. New cars can go from 0 to 60 in 6 seconds. Why can't new car loans move like that? At Town & Country Bank, we have a solution for that. We may look like typical bankers, but when it comes to car loans, we're downright speed demons. We approve loans in record time, so you can get that new baby on the road ASAP. And by the way, you really do look good in that new ride. Town & Country Bank. Smart, friendly solutions. Member FDIC.
Automated Business Systems in Salem is your one-stop source for office supplies, computers, printers, and point-of-sale software and hardware for your business. And if you're wanting to build a computer specific to your needs, whether business or personal, ABS in Salem can do it. Computer repairs, virus removal. ABS is a full-service computer repair service. Bring it to them or they'll come to you. They are your brother authorized service center in the area. See them online at www.abssalem.com or stop by their office at 902 East Scenic Rivers Boulevard in Salem.
Owning a business can be tough, and knowing what insurance you need can be confusing. Help is here with the Daniel & Henry Company. Daniel & Henry Company is an independent insurance broker providing a full range of risk management and insurance products and services for clients locally, nationally, and internationally. They find cost-effective solutions for your business and personal needs, from work comp, general liability, property and auto, and all points in between. Protecting your business is their business. Call Richard Boyette at the Daniel & Henry Company today, 314-444-5011.
Follow me at daveweinbaum.net, at The Dave Weinbaum on Twitter, and streaming live on the Dave Weinbaum Show Facebook page.
Democrats care more about bashing this president than about literally anything else. For example, the strike that took out Iranian terrorist leader Soleimani, a huge success. The world is safer. One of the world's worst, most powerful terrorists is dead. The mob and the media, Democratic Party, they just seem distraught. In fact, today, Nancy Pelosi, Speaker in name only, announced a resolution trying to tell the commander-in-chief what he can and cannot do in Iran. Pelosi obviously, again, knows nothing about the U.S. Constitution, separation of powers. Yes, he's the elected commander-in-chief, not her. And this totally unenforceable, non-binding resolution is nothing more than the latest political hit job to undermine the president and, frankly, make us less safe as a country. It also gives the mullahs of Iran, another talking point.
And this is a message that has been sent around the world, especially with America. This president is an American president. He's not a climate change president. He's not an Iran deal president. He's not going for president of the world like Barack wanted to be. This action on his part to represent America has shaken Hezbollah, North Korea, Hamas, the Muslim Brotherhood, Democrats, traitors in our own House of Representatives, Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib, Russia, China, Mexico, NATO, and anyone who may think now that they are immune from approving the killing of Americans. Donald J. Trump just slapped the world into waking up to a new reality. And with that, we're going to take another break, and we're going to come back with, Laura, the Illuminator. All right? And a little later on, we're going to have Cheryl Chumley. Call the show, 573-364-4433, and get it off your chest.
Welcome to the greatest rock and roll show on earth. Tonight's feature is Melrose Asphalt and Quarry, featuring their greatest hits, guaranteed low prices, guaranteed work, and their #1 hit, locally owned and operated. So call and get your tickets to the greatest rock and roll show on earth. Melrose Asphalt and Quarry, 364-9101. That's 364-9101. Melrose Asphalt is a local business and not an actual rock band.
Need to create a unique gift for your sweetheart? Want a gun, watch engraved? Need a trophy gift or award? Go no further than Kent Jewelry, 907 North Pine Street, downtown Rolla. Call 573-364-1030 and take your bag of jewels to Kent and ask to have your jewelry inspected and cleaned for free. Kent is my jeweler. Make him yours. 907 North Pine Street, downtown Rolla, 364-1030.
Los Arcos Mexican Restaurant and Tequila Bar in Rolla offers authentic Mexican food at great prices. Open at 11 a.m. Stop by for lunch or dinner. Lunch specials every day. And don't forget about Margarita Monday. Whether you have a small group, a large party, or you want to carry out, Los Arcos can accommodate. Located at 1212 Highway 72 East in Rolla. Affordable food with margaritas that taste great every time. You know you're dining on the finest ingredients at Los Arcos. Call for reservations at 573-426-4388.
Windows 7 will go end of life on January 14th, 2020 and become a liability to users. Computers running this unsupported operating system will become vulnerable to data breaches, ransomware, and other security threats. This fraud can cause major inconveniences and recovery costs, along with legal and regulatory liabilities. Call A1 Tech Rolla LLC at 573-458-9175 before it's too late, and your transition to a supported system will be made easy. 573-458-9175.
If you've watched Storage Wars, you know how smelly and moldy your valuables can get. Daniel's climate-controlled units ends all that. It's like a spa for your stuff. Call Investment Realty at 364-4050 and reserve a unit for Daniel's climate-controlled and secure storage. That's 364-4050. Follow me at daveweinbaum.net, at The Dave Weinbaum on Twitter, and streaming live on the Dave Weinbaum Show Facebook page.
Iran's hostilities substantially increased after the foolish Iran nuclear deal was signed in 2013, and they were given $150 billion, not to mention $1.8 billion in cash. Instead of saying thank you to the United States, they chanted death to America. In fact, they chanted death to America the day the agreement was signed. Then Iran went on a terror spree, funded by the money from the deal, and created hell in Yemen, Syria, Lebanon, Afghanistan, and Iraq. The missiles fired last night at us and our allies were paid for with the funds made available by the last administration.
A little later, I want to talk about Tucker Carlson and his isolationist tirades, along with Geraldo, and even a little bit of a criticism about President Trump in regard to saying, well, he wants to remove the troops out of the Mideast. I think it's a mistake, personally, and that's something to call a show with because, that's what we did at the end of World War I. We decided to isolate ourselves. We did not have the intelligence to see what was going on in Europe and in Japan and the rest of the world. Therefore, we were totally shocked when Pearl Harbor came about, and we were totally unprepared. And I'm saying to you that this is very analogous to 9/11. What was going on before that? Were we in Iraq? Were we in Afghanistan? We didn't know what the hell hit us and why it hit us. And it took us a while to figure that out. So this isolationist theory, in my opinion, is just the latest fad of ignoring the world and not being understanding of what it is. Anyways, we're going to be hearing from Laura Loomer right now. Hit it, Stan.
Oh, beautiful, far heroes proved in liberating strife. Who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, America, make God thy gold refined.
Ladies and gentlemen, famous conservative journalist, lifetime barred from Twitter and Facebook for telling the truth, and now candidate for Congress in Florida's 21st District, the lowest lane to the Dave Weinbaum Show, Laura Loomer. Oh, there you go. Oh, man. If that's from your county, you're in.
How's it going? Thanks for having me on again.
Good. It's always my pleasure. You know, this killing of Soleimani, which Dems all called World War III, must be the quickest war in history. I call this the 5-second war. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I guess everybody claiming that World War III was going to happen, they're sorely disappointed. I saw a lot of talk about that. But look, I think that people underestimate President Trump, and they give too much power to our enemies. And President Trump is a master negotiator, and he was brilliant in de-escalating the situation. And I think that it goes to show that he's a phenomenal president, a phenomenal leader, and he's also restoring power back to the American people so that hostile nations and foreign enemies grow to respect our foreign policy. Instead of delivering billions of dollars and pallets of cash to the Iranians and having them chant death to America the same day they receive these funds, right? The Iranians are learning to fear American authority, to fear the American military, and to respect American presidential leadership, which is how it should be, something that wasn't the case in the previous administration.
He stood up to a bully. Obama tried to bribe and cower before the bullies. And here's the deal.
He empowered a bully. Obama empowered a bully.
Exactly. And here's the deal. The message now, not only to Iran, goes out to Hezbollah, Hamas, the Muslim Brotherhood, the Russians, the Chinese, the Democratic Party, Israel, Ilhan and Tlaib, and to NATO. Can you sum up what this means to the future of Americans being killed overseas or anywhere in the world?
Well, I think what this really means, and what it's the example that it's setting, is that America is no longer going to take responsibility for everyone else's issues, right? President Trump has expressed his desire, and really the American people's desire, for other nations to play a role in their leadership capabilities and the way that these conflicts are handled, right? America can't be viewed as everybody's savior, right? Everybody's babysitter. And when it comes to President Trump's America First mantra, right, it's about putting the American people first, not putting American lives and American soldiers at risk for the sake of other people. And what President Trump has shown through his presidency thus far, in comparison to President Obama's, is that America is the leader, right? America sets the example, but America isn't going to any longer be expected to deal with and cater to everyone else's problems. And we are not going to entertain bullies, and we are not going to allow for enemies of our country to disrespect us and threaten us into appeasement, which is something that the Obama administration did constantly throughout his 8 years in office.
Laura, let's talk a little bit about your congressional race. What does your opponent say about Iran?
Well, my opponent, Lois Frankel, issued a statement that was pretty much attacking President Trump for ordering the strike on Soleimani. And instead of showing appreciation to President Trump or celebrating in this victory that isn't just a victory for the American people, but also for people all around the world who have been victimized and really been subject to Soleimani's brutal terrorist attacks and the brutal Iranian terrorist regime. And so she is participating in this pro-terror rhetoric that we have seen from many members of the Democrat Party and Democrat leadership, and kind of this refusal to just say, you know what, we're going to sit this one out and just congratulate the president and take this as a victory for peace-loving, anti-terror people all around the world. And so my campaign actually, we issued a statement condemning this pro-terror rhetoric that is coming from my opponent. And then I'm sure you saw Hassan Rouhani, the president of Iran, and some of his associates. They actually took to Twitter to threaten President Trump's properties, right, and to threaten American lives. So they said that they would attack some of President Trump's properties, including Mar-a-Lago, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, Lois Frankel did nothing to address this. She didn't issue any statement, and so this is a terrorist threat. And as the sitting congresswoman, right, she has a duty and really a moral obligation to her constituents, two of whom include President Trump and Mrs. Trump, to increase security, right, and to make sure that Islamic jihadist threats are not carried out in the district.
And just to clarify,
to ensure that our international airport is protected.
Mar-a-Lago is in your district, is that correct?
Exactly. And so when the Iranians are threatening to blow up Mar-a-Lago or to carry out an attack on the property, right, not only are they threatening our president, and we saw that they did so by offering an $80 million bounty for the president's head. Something that Democrats, I didn't see any Democrats, especially my opponent, I didn't see her condemn this.
So we can assume that on impeachment that she's parroting Nancy Pelosi, too, who even today said she's not going to turn over the articles of impeachment until she's sure what the Senate is going to do. That's sort of like me being a prosecutor and saying I've got indictments on Laura Loomer, and but Judge, I'm not going to turn them in until you tell me how you're going to convict her. Is that wrong?
Well, look, Lois Frankel was one of the first Democrats to call for President Trump to be impeached. And, of course, as I've said on your show before, she is best friends with Nancy Pelosi. So she is a Pelosi puppet. That's what I like to call her. She just repeats or really parrots what Nancy Pelosi says. And the people of District 21 deserve better. Our country deserves better. Our president deserves better, quite frankly. I mean, I think that President Trump should be celebrated for carrying out this, or ordering rather, this airstrike on Soleimani. Just like Republicans and Democrats celebrated President Obama when Osama bin Laden was killed during his presidency. I don't remember Republicans condemning Obama for the killing of Osama bin Laden. I just cannot believe what we're seeing in our country. An entire political party siding with a terrorist out of their own hatred for President Trump. They seem to hate our president more than they love America.
Nor did Barack Obama bring it before the Congress to get approval.
Right, and what people don't understand is that President Trump doesn't need this approval. I don't know what the airstrike was not carried out in Iran. Okay, it was carried out in Iraq, and we have been at war in Iraq and Afghanistan for many years now. All right, and congressional authorization was given in 2002. So this complete, nonsense that we're seeing and hearing from members of the Democrat Party about, the president didn't ask for congressional authorization. He already has authorization. There's been authorization since 2002. So again, it's just more salacious fake news being perpetuated by the Democrats and, falsehoods, right? Absolute fallacies regarding how our political system works and what is expected of the president, and more faux outrage.
You got it. Hey, other than DaveWeinbaum.net, where can people find and contribute to you, Laura?
Well, I'm running for Congress, so you can go to LauraLoomerForCongress.com. That's where you can read more about me, my campaign, my positions, and you can make a donation just like you did.
There you go. I'm a supporter of Laura Loomer. You got a problem with it? You can kiss my tuchus. Before I got married, I used to date a mathematician, but all she wanted to do was multiply. I had to stop. Anyways, thank you so much, Laura. Have a
you always have the jokes, Dave.
We got to keep our sense of humor.
I'll have
it's
to
depressing.
Remember if I ever get married someday, maybe I'll have you come MC and tell your jokes. How about that?
Okay. Well, should I get like my rabbinic? I'll bring my rabbi with me. How's that? He'll marry you. How's that?
Yeah.
He's a stand-up comic. He is. He's a stand-up comic in Israel. Rabbi Moshe, you've talked to him, haven't you?
Great.
All right, listen, Shabbat Shalom, my friend, and go get him. Well. You go get him, okay?
Uh-huh.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Man, she was cracking up.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah. Yeah.
That was great.
Don't you have to do something? I was thinking about your ID.
Oh, sorry. KKID, Salem, Rolla. Go ahead.
You got to play it over now.
Yeah, I can start it over.
Yeah, okay. There you go. Yeah,
do you want me to run it now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
This is Nancy Pelosi.
You demonize, and then we call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, you call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made. It's a tactic.
This is Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, if you've ever seen Young Frankenstein, I took that from Mel Brooks, fellow Jewish comedian. I should put myself in that class. My goodness. I could have been. What the hell. I got into business instead. Yeah. But funny stuff. Oh, yeah. I mean, the whole movie is just full of most of his movies are full of this old vaudeville type physical humor and stuff. Right. He had a great troupe of actors with him and did great things on Broadway, like The Producers, and he did that as a movie in 1969, and it was like you're really wondering about it because I don't know if it was called The Producers back then, but it was about the Nazis. It was 1969. It was still a kind of a fresh wound, Wow. Amongst us Jews, anyways, and I think we're past the point to where we stopped buying German cars and things like that, and being a little bit nervous about being associated with any Germans, much less marrying one.
Hey, you kind of did, didn't you?
I kind of did, didn't I? All right, well, there you go. So it's tough sleeping with one eye open, though, I got to tell you. Hopefully that's saving me right there. All right, I'm going to introduce this gentleman. In fact, do you have a song for him?
I do.
Hit it. Ladies and gentlemen, powerful South Florida lawyer, legal and political pundit, published in Epic News, the Daily Caller, the Federalist, and the Perry Mason to the Dave Weinbaum Show, Elad Hakim. Attaboy. Okay. Well, you can usually hear Amy's applause from Baltimore, but you're being heard from Miami. That's not bad,
Yeah, not too shabby.
How are you? It's been a fun week for news, isn't it? Hey, was Trump's speech was one of the best speeches ever. Why would you think that?
I thought his speech was great. I thought that it had the perfect balance of toughness, compassion for the people of Iran, and hope. It left open the possibility of trying to achieve peace. Although I think that possibility is somewhat remote with the leadership now, I thought it had a perfect blend of those three factors, those three elements. It was great.
I agree. I would agree with that, and I think actually he's onto this. I mean, I think his timing is impeccable. He waits till the right moment to do things. And he knew that they were in a weak state of mind because of the sanctions that are already there. How are they going to do a war on the USA? And then the guy hands him this, not only does he kill an American, this Soleimani, but he attacks the embassy just like in Benghazi, which I suspect he had a lot to do with as well. And then they find out, allegedly, that they had plans to attack other U.S. embassies. And by the way, in case you're in Branson, when you attack someone's embassy, you are attacking their country. You are attacking their soil. Am I wrong?
No. And, all this talk now about the imminent attack and all that, frankly, I don't think that the president needed the threat of an imminent attack in order to conduct the strike, just like he didn't conduct the strike. Just like he didn't when he conducted the strike against Baghdadi. All right, this guy was a terrorist. Yes, it's a little different because some people are construing him as kind of an upper level of the the government of Iran or whatever you want to call it. At the end of the day, it was a limited strike for a limited purpose. It was quick, didn't result in any casualties really, or not a lot, relatively speaking, and he didn't need authority to do it.
Well, now, wait a minute. Didn't Barack Obama go to Congress and get approval to take out Osama bin Laden?
Did he? No, I don't remember.
He did not.
Doing that.
I was being facetious with you.
Yes, I know. I mean, I don't remember him doing that. But,
he didn't do it. Nobody complained. The Republicans, in unison, said what a great thing this was.
That's right.
Because a lot of presidents, they kind of play around this whole War Powers Act, and it's not. They don't necessarily follow it. Look, there was no declaration of war. I don't think that anyone would argue that if the president is going to declare war, then he's going to go to Congress and get approval. But this isn't a declaration of war. Right. This was a limited strike against a really bad individual. And you know why Congress is all upset? Because it turns out that the president was right.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's it. His handling of this was right. They were all running with their, legs, the tail between their legs, worried about a potential reprisal. And it turns out that the president was right. He was right not to respond when they took down the drones. He was right not to respond when they struck the oil fields. He was right when they seized the ships. And he was right to attack in Iran when he did. Or in Iraq when he did. Excuse me. So they're upset.
Right. Well, let me ask you, what message, besides the one to Iran, what message does this send to the rest of the world, both friend and foe alike?
Well, I think it sends a strong message of don't mess with the U.S.,
I like that. You know what? Yeah, you are Jewish. You know how to rhyme things.
Yeah, I mean, and that was unintentional.
I know that. It's just it's in your DNA. It's in your DNA, man.
But you know what? Ironically, everyone was throwing around the 25th Amendment and how this president is kind of losing his faculties.
Yeah.
He did this in a way that was very calm and calculated. He had many opportunities to go and use military force before this most recent episode, and he didn't. So it shows that the U.S. is a willing partner, willing to try to have peace, but if you cross a certain threshold, then the U.S. is going to act.
It reminded people like me about Reagan's Wall speech, Berlin Wall speech. Mr. President,
you know that better than I did.
Tear down this wall.
Yeah.
Mr. Gorbachev.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
it was I think that the countries now are on notice, and they see that the president means business.
What is Kim Jong-un thinking about over there in North Korea, for goodness sakes? What's going through his mind?
Hopefully the same thing.
Well, yeah, the same thing, and also Hezbollah, Hamas, the Muslim Brotherhood. And that's what
people don't understand. People don't understand that we don't live, in a utopian world, we could all get along. But sometimes you can't live in a world of appeasement, and that is, excuse me, that's been the Democratic approach for quite some time. Appease. Let's give Iran hundreds of millions or billions of dollars in order to, God knows what with it. Buy more weapons, build more weapons, build nuclear,
kill Americans. How about killing Americans with it, as President Trump alluded to? Creating weapons to kill Americans.
Correct. I mean, you just can't live appeasing all the time. And Trump changed that. And finally, he got the attention of Iran. Now, with that said, he can't let his guard down because, we both know that what comes out, it's easy to tweet and to hide your intentions by way of Twitter. And I know the president is not naive. So thankfully, he knows. And that's why I was really glad that he maintained and is continuing to exert sanctions.
Well, that's a pretty good segue to the impeachment deal. I got a feeling that after watching Nancy and listening to some analysis on TV, that she's not going anywhere with this impeachment withholding like she's going to control the Senate somehow. They're not falling for it. I think she sends him in real quick and just does the best she can with a trial and with fake news. What do you think?
I mean, there's been a lot of pressure recently exerted by her own party.
That's right. That's why I'm saying that.
That could be the catalyst of that for her decision to kind of turn him over. But the only thing I get a little concerned about, I mean, it's not a major concern, but you start hearing a few of the Republicans who you'd expect in the Senate to say, "Hey, I want to hear from some of these witnesses," like Bolton. But I think that the Senate should just stand strong, and hopefully the Senate just disposes of this thing very quickly, and stand strong as far as, hey, you had your chance. You could have tried to depose you could have tried to question these people. You could have tried to enforce any potential subpoenas in court. You chose not to do so, and now you're coming to us asking us to do that. Yep. So I hope they stand strong against that and just move this thing along, because it's just a distraction.
Now, Mr. Lawyer, I have to ask you this. Nicholas Sandman, the high school kid who was wearing a MAGA hat, he wins a settlement with CNN. Who knows? Probably somewhere, I'm guessing, between 10 and 20 million bucks, or a little bit more. But he's got other suits on the line. Why settle? Why don't these media outlets and celebrities, why don't they fight back in court?
Well, there's a lot of reasons that people settle. The publicity. They could figure out. Maybe the lawyers told them, you know what, your case really stinks.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Maybe you just don't have a real viable defense, and you run the risk of getting hit with a huge verdict. It's also, it could be precedent setting. I mean, how many times? This guy was totally defamed, and I'm really, really happy for him. So, I mean, it could be multiple reasons, but I assume that those are the big ones. Stay out of the public eye as much as possible, and kind of cut your losses before they get too significant. I mean, he was suing for, what was it, $200 million? You said? I think it was?
No, I think it was actually about a half a billion.
Whatever it was.
Did you
know?
That's
a lot of money, even for CNN.
$275 million.
Okay, well, whatever. Once you get past that, but you got Laura Loomer. Your neighbor up there in West Palm Beach. She's suing Twitter and Facebook for about $5 billion. That's with a B, $1 billion.
Yeah, I think she's got a lawyer down in this area, actually.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe even in Boca.
Could be. Yeah.
I think it may be even in Boca representing her. So
you?
Good for her.
You?
No,
Too bad. You could have had that one. All you had to do was ask me. I would have set you up.
I've only had the privilege of meeting Laura once, but good for her for pursuing a just cause, and for really I think I read the gist of the complaint once, and it's really ridiculous. I mean, really, it's really ridiculous that she was shut out based on comments that were no worse, not even close to some of the comments that I see on social media.
Exactly the point. And they shut her down, and now they refuse to put her on there, and she's running for Congress. They're interfering with an election.
Yeah, terrible. And she's running against a candidate who's got a pretty big name in the area.
And a big Nancy Pelosi buddy, according to Laura.
Frankel? Yeah.
Right.
So I wish Laura, the best of luck. I mean, it's tough, but if anyone can do it, she can. She's got a lot of support. And,
well, she's got my support. I'll tell you that much. Hey, where can people find you?
They can find me on your show.
There you go. All right. Thank you very much. Dave Weinbaum Show, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
But you're a great writer now, and you're getting better all the time. And someday you're going to have your own damn show, I'm pretty sure.
I would never get in the way of your show. I'm just...
Don't worry about it.
If anything, I would only help to supplement your show.
I'm 71 years old. Where am I going with this? I don't know. Although it is growing. They can find me
at Thoughtful GOP on Twitter, at Thoughtfully Conservative on Facebook, and at Elad Hakim PA for any legal-related type questions or issues. So, absolutely, jump in. The latest article that I wrote on Lopez and his recent comment, the threats, really, really got a lot of engagement. So, I encourage everyone to kind of jump in.
Do it.
Like
he gets a lot of comments, I'll tell you, because he puts put the stuff on my Facebook page, and I get a lot of comments out of there, and a lot of people are listening to the show because of you. Hey, Elad, you know, the most important lesson in golf, I know you don't play golf, you're a soccer guy, but the most important lesson in golf is when you lose your balls, you have to remember to keep your cojones. Does that make sense? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, Elad, Hakim, thank you so much, Elad, and hi to your better half and the kids. Shabbat shalom, my friend.
Thank you, guys. Have a good weekend. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. All right. That was good. All right, now we got Laura Loomer coming up in 5 minutes. I think we take a break right now. And what? We don't have enough time?
We already did Laura Loomer.
No, I meant Cheryl. I'm getting it all mixed up today. Cheryl Chumley. Call the show 573-364-4433.
You want to do a bid or a break?
A break.
Okay, sorry.
I thought I said that, but maybe I didn't.
I did, but I was still looking for the other thing. Okay,
call the show.
Ready for
That's fine. 573-364-4433 and get it off your chest.
Hi, this is Sarah Weinbaum, massage therapist at Lavish Day Spa, formerly known as Terra Day Spa. Come visit me at our all-new location on North Bishop next to Steak and Shake. Come take your stress and worries away with our full-service salon and day spa, featuring discounts on Dermalogica and other skincare items offered with a purchase of a facial. New location, same number, 364-0905. Come sail away at Lavish Day Spa in Rolla.
Does your trip to the dentist office sound like this? If so, it's time to come see the friendly staff at Forum Dental, where they make dentistry simple and fun. Forum Dental is committed to patient satisfaction and high-quality dental care. So come to Forum Dental, where they do it all, from teeth cleaning and whitening to bridges and crowns and so much more. At Forum Dental, they make every dental experience a pleasant one. Forum Dental, working together to be better. Visit our website at forumdental.com.
It's been over 35 years since Muffler Mart has opened their doors. Marty, Keith, and Carl combined have over 120 years of auto experience. The name says Muffler Mart, but they do it all. Thousands of customers have done business with Muffler Mart because they do what they say they're going to do. Woo! The next time you need work on your vehicle, head to Muffler Mart on Highway 63 South, across from Phelps County Fairgrounds in Rolla. For appointments, call 364-5434. That's 364-5434. Muffler Mart in Rolla.
J.T. Colton was a steak-loving man, and his tradition of serving up the finest mesquite grilled steaks east of El Paso lives on today at Colton's Steakhouse and Grill. But lots of folks say it's our fun, casual, throw your peanut shells on the floor attitude that keeps them coming back again and again. Either way, we're determined to keep you happy and to make J.T. proud. Colton's Steakhouse and Grill. We know what's at stake.
Colton's Steakhouse in Rolla.
Windows 7 will go end of life on January 14th, 2020 and become a liability to users. Computers running this unsupported operating system will become vulnerable to data breaches, ransomware, and other security threats. This fraud can cause major inconveniences and recovery costs, along with legal and regulatory liabilities. Call A1 Tecarala LLC at 573-458-9175 before it's too late, and your transition to a supported system will be made easy. 573-458-9175.
Sydney's would like to thank all the hardworking people and businesses in downtown Rolla. The vision and investment of the downtown business owners is amazing, but the employees of the businesses are the real stars of downtown. They've created a wonderful atmosphere and provide service that's second to none. Businesses supporting other businesses. Sydney's wants to show their appreciation to everyone who's made downtown a great place to relax and invite everyone to visit downtown Rolla and enjoy the best food, drinks, shopping, and people in Missouri. Sydney's, 707 North Pine, downtown Rolla.
This is Rick Miller at Null & Son Funeral Home in Rolla. Since 1924, Null & Son Funeral Home has had the honor of serving families throughout Phelps County. Today, families can select a funeral service, burial, or cremation and have it tailored to fit their specific needs in order to honor the memory of their loved one in a personal and meaningful way. At Null & Son Funeral Home, we offer information that will help you make decisions that are just right for you and your family.
Follow me at DaveWeinbaum.net, at The Dave Weinbaum on Twitter, and streaming live on the Dave Weinbaum Show Facebook page.
Now we're getting lectures, get this, from the Benghazi Democrats the bribe Iranian mullah appeasers in the swamp. How did that Biden-Obama $150 billion bribe work out for any of us? The answer, we now know, it was a disaster. And now the president is cleaning up their created mess. Even Obama's DHS secretary believes President Trump utilized his full constitutional authority to take this action. And yes, we are better off. Take a look.
If you believe everything that our government is saying about General Soleimani, he was a lawful military objective. And the president, under his constitutional authority as commander-in-chief, had ample domestic legal authority to take him out without an additional congressional authorization.
That was Jay Johnson, who I believe was the former secretary under Barack Obama of Homeland Security, if I'm not wrong. I might be wrong about that. I know he worked for Barack Obama, and he was a loyal employee. Now he's siding with, President Trump. How about that, huh? Go. We usually have more solid of a thing. We got Chumley coming on very shortly, and I think maybe we play her song. What do you think?
I've paid my dues time after time. I've done my sentence, but committed no crime. And bad mistakes, I've made a few. I've had my shadows and kicked in my face, but I've come through. And I need to go on. We are the champions, my friends, and we'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions.
Good timing today. This is the online editor to the Washington Times, Novak Journalism Fellow, speaker, author, and the media goddess to the Dave Weinbaum Show, Cheryl Chumley. There it is. I think we just woke Nancy Pelosi up.
Yeah, right.
Time to get up, Nancy. Okay, Cheryl Chumley's talking now. Pay attention. Hi, Cheryl. How are you?
Hi, Dave. How are you?
I'm good. Sorry about the problem we had before. So.
Well, at least I was early, not late, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you were early. Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, whatever. I don't know. I could have put it in there wrong, too. I've done that before.
No, you didn't.
Okay. Without specifying that Nancy Pelosi is trying to run our government and be the only power in this nation, taking over the Senate, as well as she's got the House and the executive branch and the courts. Why is it wrong that we depend on people for their rights instead of God?
Well, our nation was founded on the basic ideal that our rights as individuals come from God, not government. And the importance behind that is what government gives, government can take away. And so the founders, in all their wisdom, knew this, and they made it clear that as an American citizen, you need to insist that your government recognize that they're not the ones who give the rights here, that they're born at birth, that they come by way of birth, their natural rights, human rights, God-given rights.
The leader of the Dems and the other Dems that are following her, and that's many of them, Nancy Pelosi, seem to take the side that Iran is justified to be free to kill and maim Americans. Your thoughts?
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi put out this tweet that basically drew an equivalency, a moral equivalency between the terrorist regime of Iran and this White House. And that's kind of dangerous talk, because if you start faulting America for terrorism that's done because of radical Islamic ideals, then America, what you get is an apology tour put on by Barack Obama, part 2.
Yeah.
Trump is a strong leader, and thankfully for America's safety and security, he's not going to play that game.
Well, the best line of Trump's speech was his take on the $1.8 billion in cash left on pallets at an airport, and the other was the rest of it, $150 billion from Obama and Biden that were used to make and buy weapons that killed and maimed Americans. I thought that was an amazing point and something that isn't going to go away soon. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I think his base loves it. I think it's great that this White House doesn't shy from pointing out the blood on the hands from the previous administration, and I think that the media is just going to take them to task for saying something like that. But look, the fact of the matter is the last administration put this nation in danger, not just from that Iran nuke deal that basically gave Iran the right at a certain point in time to pursue nuclear weapons development, but they also gave cash to Iran that helps fuel their terror around the world. And Trump is right in saying that, calling that out.
Well, and Joe Biden, you can always tell when you really hit a nerve when Joe Biden pipes in and says, why don't you worry about your own, rotten administration instead of worrying about Biden and Obama. So I think that hit a nerve there, and it's true. It's sort of like him getting upset about the Burisma thing, and it was true.
I think Trump just hits nerves with the left every day. I think that's what he does. He just goes around hitting their nerves. They can't stand this president because they can't control him.
But
they can't shut him down with the media.
His timing, though, is really good, isn't it?
Yeah, on timing and just reading the nation, reading the heart and soul of America voters, Trump's really good at that. He really does have his fingers on the pulse of the patriotic Americans.
Let me switch course here. I like Tucker Carlson. I think he's very good, and I don't dislike Geraldo. But between them, those two, and even Trump to a certain extent, they're pushing for this American isolationism like we did after World War I and sometime before when 9/11 happened. Do you think this is a good idea?
I guess my best answer to that is somewhat. I'm a big believer in the George Washington warning about avoiding entangling alliances with overseas nations. But the fact of the matter is we've come down this path of stretching our military beyond our borders for reasons that haven't been declared by Congress for so many years. We're already there. We're already at spots around the nation. And if we pick up and leave, what it does is it leaves those areas in vulnerable positions where our enemies can expand and so forth. So I think each instance of military operations has to be looked at individually. I'm not one of those people who just want to randomly spread democracy around the world. But I do think that just picking up and coming back, sending all our troops back to America, bringing them home at this point in time, you have to think twice about doing that.
Well, and here's why I think it is. Not that we should be involved in foreign wars, but I'm talking about protecting the United States of America. Now, you don't remember this because you're just a young girl, but back in after World War I, America sort of went into a ditch and just dug a hole. And what happens a mere, 23 years later? We get attacked by Pearl Harbor, by the Japanese, and we had no clue it was coming, or very little clue. And the whole world erupts in World War II, just 23 years after the end of the First World War. And what I'm saying is that I believe we need a presence. We don't need to turn them into democracies. I was in favor of that, but it didn't work. But we need a presence like we have now in Japan, we have it in Germany, and we have it in a bunch of different areas because we don't get the intelligence otherwise. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. And, a lot of these places want us there. In South Korea, where actually I was stationed for a year, there were some segments of South Koreans that just did not want Americans there. But by and large, the government, the vast majority of the population likes America there. And so, too, at some of these other hotspots around the nation. These are strategic areas that we choose to go to and set up military bases. And it's a way of keeping watch. It's a way of, like you said, expanding our intelligence and making sure we have the most up-to-date intel. The only issues I have with that is when our military starts getting involved with peacekeeping operations and helping with infrastructure and so forth. That's when I think it goes over the line, because I favor our military being used for military warlike missions only, not infrastructure development.
I would agree with that. I think, it's a fine line, but we just can't isolate ourselves to the extent that we don't know what the hell's going on. Because even this latest Iraqi thing, the United States had great intel, first on Soleimani and secondly on the base. How did they get that information of where they were going to drop the bombs? No casualties except for the plane? I mean, that's incredible, isn't it? So we had some kind of intelligent interwoven in Iran, with Iran, who I'm sure they're going to murder a bunch of people now, but still, we had the intel, didn't we? And you're not going to have that if you've moved out of everywhere.
Yeah, you make a good case, and it's one that I can agree with. I guess my boundary is, and I've made this case before in columns, I would like to see Congress, when we go to war, or we don't call it war, we just call it a mission. I would like to see a return to this country declaring war with a clear exit strategy, so we know, for crying out loud, when we win. So we're not just occupying areas based on some sort of flimsy, we're maintaining peace kind of thing. If we're going to go to war, let's declare a war so we can get in and out at the proper time.
In and out, but enough intel staying there to know what's going to happen. What are they? Are they planning to invade the homeland? That's my main issue. Is we got to know when they're planning to attack us, because we've been we've been surprised attacked too often, and it's getting dangerous. Anyways, where can people find you, Cheryl?
At the Washington Times, at CherylChumley.com, or on Twitter at CKChumley.
I didn't grow up with a lot of money. Our family was so poor. Our house was 8 closed. Ladies and gentlemen, Cheryl Chumley calling all the way from Virginia. Thank you. Try to knock
Not once, but twice.
yeah, calling twice. Try to knock some sense into Nancy, will you please? Does she send the articles now or not?
Oh gosh, no.
I think she's gonna. I think she's getting too much pressure from her own people.
I hope so, Dave.
I do too. You have a great weekend. Thanks again for being a star and a good friend to the Dave Weinbaum Show.
Oh, it's my honor to be on your show. Have a great weekend.
You don't know. It's my honor. Thank you, Cheryl. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Isn't that sweet? Okay, we're back on the show, and you got something for me, Stan?
See, boy, this is why I prefer to just shoot fish. Can we?
No, we're not going to shoot any fish. You're not helping. I'm trying to teach them about patience here.
Well, then get to it.
I don't like being patient.
Nobody does. It's a learned skill. What do we call people that go willy-nilly through life just doing things because it feels good?
Democrats.
Attaboy.
KKID 92.9 is KKID Salem Rolla.
All right, back on the show. We have a caller. Hi there. Welcome to the Dave Weinbaum Show. What's your name, Adolph, and where are you calling from?
My name is Adolph.
Okay. You see, I'm psycho. I mean psychic. Actually, Adolph, I got to correct myself. I was going to be a psychic, but there's no future in it.
That's right.
What can I do for you today, my friend? And Joanne.
What's the first rule of negotiation?
I don't know. I mean, I would assume it's
negotiate from strength.
Yeah, I was gonna. Of course, I was gonna say that.
yeah. Negotiate from strength.
Yeah.
So, like taking out Soleimani or whatever his name is, that's negotiating from strength. So what do? They turn around and lob a few missiles on it and say, see, we can be bad too.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't mean anything. That was just for face saving.
Amazing.
Because they have no desire whatsoever to take on the United States.
It's the old bully story. A bully gets his encouragement to do more and more and more by people who back down. It goes with Hitler. It goes with Japanese. It goes with everybody. A bully who wants to take you on, they're looking for weakness because they know they can keep doing it. And
that's right.
That's what the problem is with the Dems. They think they can appease people by buying them off or cowering to them or apologizing to them.
There you go.
They're wrong. Okay.
Well, we know that.
Well,
anybody with any intelligence knows that.
Well, yeah.
Just that Democrats just doesn't have the intelligence, I guess. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what their problem is.
I don't know either, but they don't need to be leading us. Let's put it that way. If they want to think this
Bingo.
way, fine. I don't have a problem with that. But not telling me how to think, okay?
Well, I've been telling all my friends, because there's a couple of them that says, well, gee, I don't like Trump. You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Either you vote for Trump, or if you stay home, you voted for a Democrat.
Well, I feel like the Trump dog, but what's not to like? Look at the economy. My goodness, when he got in office, the stock market was at 18,000. Now it's more than doubled.
Well, yeah, you and I.
No, it's not. No, I'm sorry. I take that back. No, it's 11,000 more roughly.
Have people with Trump.
Yeah,
he's kind of an irascible guy.
Yeah, and he says some things. I don't agree with everything he says and the way he does it. But you know what? He gets the job done, and he's America first. We know that. He's not gonna sacrifice unknowingly. He's not gonna sacrifice people. Now you might have a few die in wars, but if anybody's going to be the peace president, it's going to be guys like him and Reagan. Reagan made one mistake, and that was in Beirut. And I think if he was alive today, he'd admit it. He never should have backed out of going after Hezbollah. That was the birth of Hezbollah. When they killed 241 Marines in Beirut in 1982 or 83. All right?
Well, if they get away with it. The minute they get away with it, that emboldens them.
Exactly.
There you go.
And so,
well, you have a great weekend.
All right, you too. Hi to Joanne. Okay.
Yeah, you have be careful on the snow tomorrow.
Oh yeah, thanks for that. Okay. All right, you have a great weekend, Adolph. Thanks for calling.
Have a great one yourself.
Thanks. And I think we're going to take a break right now, Stan. You ready? Okay, so call the show 573-364-4433. Get it off your chest.
Make the whole family happy by bringing home Lee's famous recipe chicken. Choose from one of our many different specials, like the 16-piece classic or breast strip family meal, to the 8 different daily lunch specials. Call today for your next catering at 573-364-9330 or visit us on the web at leesrolla.com or just stop by Lee's famous recipe chicken in Rolla at 1902 North Bishop Avenue.
The Akar Real Estate sign in the yard is your first step to sold. Whether buying or selling, put the best team of realtors to work for you. Akar Real Estate is the top-selling real estate agency in 4 counties. They work diligently to make your real estate transactions happen. Independently owned and operated for over 12 years by Delek Akar, broker-owner. When you want results that move you, call the professionals at Akar Real Estate at 368-SELL. That's Akar Real Estate at 368-7355.
Sales results obtained from Maris Incorporated. Reality check number 14. Getting a house loan shouldn't take longer than building your house. At Town & Country Bank, we have a solution for that. We know you're anxious to start building your dream home, so we make loans quick and easy. We don't have to send off to some big city for a decision. Your decision is made here, and your loan stays here. Town & Country Bank. Smart, friendly, solutions. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Come see the professionals at Brown Vet Clinic of Rolla, where they promise to place your pet's health and wellness above all considerations. They communicate openly with you about the individual preventative needs of your pet and help protect them from common infectious and contagious diseases while using the best available methods, no matter how big or small the animal. The staff is there to help you 24/7 and will get you an appointment as quickly as possible. Give Brown Vet Clinic a call today for all your animal needs. 364-1919.
Start the year off right at Fairground Auto Plaza in Rolla. You don't want to miss out on the New Year savings and all remaining 2019 cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. Right now, save up to $9,512 on the all-new 2019 Silverado Crew Cab LT All-Star Z71, or choose 0% APR for 72 months on select 2019 Silverados. Come check out everything Fairground Auto Plaza has to offer. Visit Fairground Auto Plaza at 100 Fairgrounds Road in Rolla. Chevy, find new roads.
Every business needs just the right sign to get people into your business. Missouri Neon Outdoor is here to help. Missouri Neon Outdoor has been family-owned and serving the Ozarks for 80 years. Outdoor advertising remains one of the most cost-effective ways for businesses to build awareness and drive customers to their door. And they offer billboard coverage in over 25 counties in southwest Missouri. Missouri Neon Outdoor has an expert creative staff that can design a great look for you. Call today for available locations in your area. 1-800-788-1778.
Imagine a choice hand-cut steak seasoned with special spices, grilling over mesquite wood. At Colton's Steakhouse and Grill, it's not just imagination. We do this every day at Colton's. We also offer chicken, seafood, sandwiches, and salads, and our homemade yeast rolls. And it happens in the most fun Western-style restaurant you'll ever set foot in. Colton's Steakhouse and Grill, where we know what's at stake.
Colton's Steakhouse in Rolla.
Follow me at DaveWeinbaum.net, at The Dave Weinbaum on Twitter, and streaming live on the Dave Weinbaum Show Facebook page.
Let's not forget Secretary Johnson's former boss, President Obama. He himself launched 2,800 strikes in Iraq and Syria. Guess what, Nancy? No congressional approval. The speaker had no problem with any of that. And now when President Trump, he takes out the leading terrorist and American soldier killer outside of Baghdad, and she wants answers. All this are repulsive, continuous, never-ending double standards, more feigned, selective moral outrage. Only this time, it impacts our safety and security at home, our fellow American citizens abroad, our interests abroad. So let me educate Nancy Pelosi. Let me educate all the other far-left, rage-filled idiots in the media mob and elsewhere. We have a new segment we're starting right now tonight called How to Deal with the World's Most Evil Terrorists for Dummies.
All right, we're back on the show, and that was Barack Obama, How to Deal with Terrorists for Dummies. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty good right there.
I love him.
That's pretty good right there.
Kennedy's awesome.
Call the show, 573-364-4433. Get it off your chest. We're experimenting with putting this on some of the clubs that I have that I'm in on Facebook, and it seems to be working. So they're listening to me on a lot of these different, only 5 or 6 maybe, but they're pretty powerful ones. And whenever I send out a poll, I think a lot of people recognize that because typically I get a pretty good response to my polls, you know. Right. And that's how I know if I know it's a poll to me too, just to see the activity of it, to see if there's a lot of comments, if there's a lot of interest on it, and I actually use that somewhat to make my show more interesting, because I know what subjects, at least people who are conservative, for the most part they're conservative on these things, I have a better idea of what conservatives think are important.
Right.
So that's pretty interesting to me. Anyways, we've got one more interview, and then I'll be free. I'll be a free man, you know. Come on, baby. No, I don't mean it that way, honey, if you're listening. I don't mean it. I swear to God, I'm not in. No.
She's probably laying in bed listening to Seals and
No.
Crofts,
She said she was going to be listening to me.
Oh, okay.
You want to call the show, honey, and tell us that? Because, okay, I'm going to tell you what. I think you're not listening to the show if you don't call me in 5 minutes. So, because that's what she told me. She can't drive, the poor thing. And,
I know.
You know, so I asked her to come. I would have driven, but obviously she doesn't want to sit there for, 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
I told her she could leave. She says, where am I going to go? I says, well... Yeah, go sit in the car, I guess. I don't know.
She can't do all her chores today now after the show.
No, I'm doing them all.
Oh, okay.
I'm cooking. I'm cooking. What else am I doing? Well, I do laundry. I do a lot of my own laundry, actually. Yeah. I mean, I've got a gal that comes in that she takes it upstairs and hangs it up or folds it and stuff like that. But I'm pretty good about doing that. Other than that, I'm worthless. and quite frankly, she's a good cook. So why the hell would I want to cook?
Oh yeah, you know it. I can smell that she's a good cook.
You can smell.
When she brings that
you've
stuff
been
in?
smelling my wife. What
No,
time is that about?
I have not.
You've been smelling my wife. Oh, you think I'm mad now? You want a piece of me? You heard it here, America. He's smelling my wife. Oh, this is sick, Sam.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Oh man.
I have
Anyways,
too much respect for you and for her.
What do you know about funny, anyways? All right, bring it on.
I am for open immigration, but that sign we have in the front of the Statue of Liberty, give us your tired, your poor, your huddled masses. Can't we just say, hey, the door's open, we'll take whoever you got? Do we have to specify the wretched refuse? I mean, why don't we just say, give us the unhappy, the sad, the slow, the ugly, people that can't drive, if they have trouble merging, if they can't stay in their lane, if they don't signal, can't parallel park, if they're sneezing, if they're stuffed up, if they're clogs, if they have bad penmanship, don't return calls, if they have dandruff, food between their teeth, if they have bad credit, if they have no credit, Mr. Spot Shaving. In other words, any dysfunctional, defective slob that you can somehow cattle prod onto a wagon, send them over. We want it.
So my wife just texted me something. I guess she's listening. So I know. Now I gotta watch what the hell I'm saying. Right? Wait a minute. There it is. I don't understand it. Oh, I'm listening. You poor thing. I don't smell. I made yesterday. What does that mean? I think she misspoke. Honey, when you speak into this thing, you have to make sense, okay? MBA all the way. She's got an MBA. She holds that over me.
Well, she's pretty smart, You know,
I got a degree. You know what I majored in college?
I don't.
What do you think?
I would say some sort of business, I would think.
Yeah, I majored in accounting.
Oh, okay.
And, I did it I didn't do it after college at all. I did it during college. I did it for, I forget the name of it. It was a famous health insurance company.
So you interned or something like that? Or?
Well, yeah, no, I was getting paid. I mean, it was like summer, and I was an accountant. And I pretty soon I got everything that they were doing, and I finished my work early one week, and I thought, and the boss calls me in, and I thought, well, gee, that's pretty cool, I mean, I know he's going to say I did a good job. He looks at me and says, what the hell are you doing? And I says, well, what do you mean? He says, you're making us all look bad. You can't finish your work early like that. So what they're doing is they're stretching it out so they can look like they're busy when they're really not.
Right.
And they're stealing from the boss.
Gotcha.
I learned a lot about business that day, okay?
Well, I mean, other than an MBA, what other would you want to have to be in business like you've been? I mean, knowing accounting is important. I was number one student at Hamburger University in 1973. Cool.
Do you believe that?
Oh, yeah, I do.
I was a very poor student in high school. I'm lucky to get into college.
I was too.
And I figured it out. I figured out how to do it on my own, and I passed this along to my children, and that is that you sit in the front of the class, okay? You want to make sure that you're not fooling around, and you want to make sure you're in close proximity to the teacher.
Right.
And you want to ask questions. And if you don't understand anything or just something, even if you think you ought to understand it, after class you talk to the teacher.
Right.
Okay, and you ask her or him what it is, and let them explain it to you. And I'm going to tell you something. If you're between a B and an A or flunking in a C, just because you went in to see that teacher, you're going to get the higher grade. Almost, I mean, 100% of the time.
That makes sense.
They love that.
Oh, of course.
They love that, okay?
They like being respected.
You're darn right. And so I learned that, and I taught my kids the same way. Mm-hmm. And they're all brilliant. I mean, my goodness.
Oh, gosh, yes.
My 9-year-old grandson, Daxton, he takes second in a math contest in Missouri.
Wow.
Well, hell, I mean, that was just amazing. I thought it was like for, local class or something like that. The state of Missouri, and
he's good.
And yeah, exactly. And of course, when I told the rabbi, he says, "What? He couldn't get first." This is you can't
just like
you can't satisfy
you get half the country.
I would.
Well, you couldn't get them all.
I know. But you couldn't get more than half. What's the matter with you? All right. Anyways, let's play DeAnna's song in case she's on time. So hit it.
Tomorrow all the things were gone. I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Timing here. Okay, good timing here. Oh man, that's amazing. That's like pinpoint. Ladies and gentlemen, this woman is passionate about making California great again. She's an author, star of TV, radio, blogs, running for Congress against the enemy of the USA, Nancy Pelosi. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for DeAnna Lorraine. Hi, DeAnna. How are you?
Hey, I'm fantastic.
Good. Where are you at? You in San Francisco?
I am.
I kind of watched you walk in that march with these zombie-like people, it seemed like to me. I don't know. They didn't seem like real activists. I mean, they're just walking like with signs and stuff like that. So did you march with Nancy at all? Did you see her there?
Nancy is really MIA around San Francisco.
Okay.
Never really seen. However, Shahid Buttar, who's my other opponent running against Nancy Pelosi, he was there.
Oh, okay.
In fact, I ran into him twice this week because I went to 2 anti-war marches. And at these marches, I said, hey, I'm a Republican, and I'm also against war. And they said, oh, my God. They were shocked that I was against war. And they were shocked that I kept shouting, President Trump helped stop this war in Iran. President Trump is a peacemaker. And they all looked at me like I was crazy and started throwing tomatoes at me and said, no way, he's a warmonger. But I said, no, President Trump does not want endless wars. We don't want endless wars, okay? We're going to have to take action sometimes if we need to for the protection of the American people, and that's what he did, a calculated action. However, we do not want endless wars, just like you don't want endless wars.
Yeah, and you were out there with them. In fact, this is on video. You can find it. Where can you find that?
Go to my Twitter, where all the action is, by the way. It's the hub, DeAnna 4, which is the number 4, Congress. At DeAnna 4 Congress, you can see my video of me walking with these zombies that are shouting, Trump wants war, Trump wants war.
Gee.
I kept Trump doesn't
Well,
want war.
they're probably not listening to this show. Would you think that?
I would imagine they're not listening to the show. They were
Yeah.
all wearing Bernie shirts, and they were wearing shirts that say, I have no gender, and that kind of thing.
Now, did they seem physically threatening to you at all?
No, they didn't really seem physically threatening. They actually seemed very, very asexual, very weak,
Laid back.
for the most part. Very laid back, like they were tranquilized, and it was really like just they masked these things as an anti-war protest, and it was really just an anti-Trump protest.
Right.
I mean, most of these people were carrying signs that said Trump is Hitler and things like that.
Well, you know the DNC and Nancy had something to do with this, don't you?
Of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I mean, they're the ones that are drumming this up, that are creating these marches all over with their money, their funds, and and causing a stir. And I was on TV last night too. I was on local news. I got interviewed, and again, they were shocked because I jumped in. They interviewed me and asked my thoughts on this war, and I went off on my tirade about President Trump wanting to de-escalate tensions there in Iran, and wanting to, do things that are actually going to protect Americans, but not lead to war. And she seemed shocked and traumatized by it.
Yeah.
The reporter.
She's probably going to report you to the snowflake squad,
She
Damn.
probably will. But isn't it true that Trump doesn't want war?
Yeah. I mean, he said
Isn't it
so,
true?
and he just has a different way of going about it through strength. I just talked with Cheryl Chumley about this, and, he changed the whole... I mean, it doesn't work. Appeasing enemies does not work. Appeasing bullies never works. Am I right?
Right.
And so he doesn't appease them. He says, look, please stop doing this. Please stop doing this behavior. He warns them, and if they don't listen, then he takes vicious action between tweets, probably, and they get the message. But it's
right.
But now he's back now we need to talk. But remember, if you ever touch a hair on an American again, all hell's going to break loose. Okay? What's wrong with that?
That's how you deal with bullies.
Yes.
And we know what it's like to lead from behind, like Obama kept doing, which gets you nowhere and makes you look like an ass, or leading from the front, which is what President Trump does. He just goes and leads. And I told people at this anti-war rally, I said, look, if President Trump led us into war, most Republicans would actually be upset, because one of the things he promised on in his campaign is that he would get us out of endless wars, and that we would have milestones for a war. If we're going to have a war, we would have a winner and a loser. We would have a way to conclude this war, so that we wouldn't have all these American lives that are lost, and millions of dollars going to this. So no, none of us want war. We all want the same thing, and people that say otherwise are just buying into this fake news. And again, I have to say that this man that he killed was a terrorist, a known terrorist. And from one Jewish man to a Catholic girl, you can say proudly that Trump has done more for the Jewish community than other presidents, right? Because
he is the first Jewish president.
Mm-hmm.
I say that like I believe it. I mean, he really understands. I mean, if he ran for prime minister in Israel, he'd win. That's how well loved he is in Israel. Nobody has ever been as good to the Jews, with the possible exception of Harry Truman voting for Israel in the UN.
Wow. But
not after that. I mean, he's been amazing. What an amazing time to be an Israeli,
Exactly. And yet the people at this rally and, other Democrats, they insist that the Jewish community hates President Trump and that they're so unhappy in his weakened relationship.
Right.
I mean, where do they get this BS from?
Well, you know what? You know what you did? I was watching this thing, and every once in a while you were crossing a street and you'd say, hey, everybody, sheep is crossing. Sheep are crossing the road.
Sheep crossing. Sheep crossing.
Where was their leaders?
Their leaders are Bernie. Their leaders are Obama. And, these are the kinds of people that think that we need socialism for all, and that everyone.
Right, and I'm sure they went. I'm sure what they did was they went to the homeless areas, and they marched for the homeless too, didn't they?
No, they did not.
Why not?
They did not.
Who needs something more than them?
Right, exactly. I haven't really seen them.
And you have been with the homeless. You have helped the homeless.
In fact, I'm going back today to my favorite group of homeless people.
Oh, good. They know you now, right?
Street corner. Right, and I promised them I'd come back and bring them donuts and bagels.
Cool.
So I'll be coming back today to bring them donuts and bagels. You can check on my Twitter.
I'll tell you what you should be bringing them is ballots.
I will. I'm actually going to register. I mean, if they're able to. I don't know if they're able to, but I think a lot of them can, and register them as a Republican.
If you don't, guess who will?
Guess who will?
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi.
There you go.
And the left.
DeAnna, I believe you have what it takes to win. Okay?
Thank you.
I think you're in a good situation there. This woman is, to me, she's self-destructing quickly, I think. She has put herself out there, and she's trying to do a coup on the whole government. I mean, she's trying to take over the Senate now. And she's taken over the House and done really stupid, unprecedented things that's going to hurt this country for centuries. If we survive her that long, she's going after the executive branch, the Senate, and the judiciary. When she wouldn't, when Trump objected and claimed executive privilege, she needed to go to the courts, and so they ignored that and impeached him on total ridiculous
false
items.
charges.
Exactly. So I think she's going to be very weakened, and I think you should really take it to her. Okay.
I will. I'm raising hell. I don't know if you've noticed lately, but I am raising some hell.
Good.
And I've got my gloves off. I'm ready to fight. And look, it's a lot of work. So I do appreciate all of your donations. In fact, Dave Weinbaum is a top donor.
Oh, thank you, dear.
And I thank you very,
it's my pleasure.
Very much for that. DeAnnaforcongress.com to participate, donate, join me on my campaign trail, and let's get this Nancy wicked witch of the West out of here.
And she's also on DaveWeinbaum.net. I just throw a little thing in there like that. So you know what? I got to tell you something. I got so sick the other day. I put the lime in the coconut, and I didn't feel better. What the hell's happening? What is that about? Aren't you supposed to feel better when you put the lime in the coconut, stir it all up?
It's supposed to.
Drink it all up. I said, Doctor, no.
Maybe that's Lisa's job.
Yeah. You know, Lisa, she's got a broken arm.
Broken arm?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Or the doctor comes back to me with a smile on his face. Well, she's got a broken humerus, and I said, I don't find that funny at all. I actually said that, you know, and so she's in pain. She's listening to the show right now, probably saying, "You idiot! What are you telling people that for?" But you know, I'm doing all the cooking, all the driving. Of course, she's doing a good job. She's got to heal, you know. Anyways, thank you so much, DeAnna.
Absolutely, DeAnnaforcongress.com.
All right, darling. You have a great weekend, and keep fighting the good fight. Okay.
Perfect. I'll see you next Friday.
Thank you. All right. That's DeAnna Lorraine. If you're out there in San Francisco, this gal can do it. She's smart, okay? She's smart. Just because she's cute doesn't mean she's smart, okay? So she's smart, she's pretty, and she's got a brain that's pretty good, and she's tough, okay? What more do you want? Get rid of Nancy. She's a disgrace. I think she's mentally ill. What do you got for me, Stan?
Starting this year, Toyota and Lexus luxury models will come with Amazon Alexa.
Alexa, turn on the AC.
Turning on AC.
Finally, a virtual assistant to help you navigate.
Alexa, where's the nearest gas station?
Nearest gas station in 1.5 miles.
And to help maintain your vehicle.
Alexa, order more brake pads.
Ordering new brake pads. Although maybe if you didn't stop so close to the car in front of you.
I left plenty of room.
You drive too aggressively.
If you were just quiet for 2 seconds.
She'll talk to you literally the entire time you're driving.
I think you should have turned back there.
I know where I'm going!
Hi. You know why I pulled you over?
No, officer, I have...
Because we were driving 72 miles per hour in a 45-mile-per-hour zone.
Anything else I should know?
2 miles back, we rolled through a stop sign without coming to a complete stop. Also, there are illegal fireworks in the trunk.
Sir, I'm going to need you to step out of the car, please.
Amazon Alexa. You'll never get away from her.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a caller. I don't know who this is, but suddenly I have this urge to play this. So,
from Weinbaum Records, it's Dave's Hits of 2017. Listen to the unique singing style of your favorite radio host, Dave Weinbaum.
What the hell's that noise on the phone?
Songs like
Snowflake. You know you can't take it.
Come on, Martin, sing one.
You've got that hateful feeling.
Whoa, stop it. No. Feeling. I don't want to hear any sick sounds.
You wish me hell to everyone you could tell that you've been spying over me. Spying.
Come on, Branson.
Over me. Then you spread your wings to the mainstream news.
And timeless memories like
You don't know me. I'm in the federal witness plan. You don't know me. I might be in Afghanistan.
Do the insults,
Dave's
Martin.
Hits of 2017
You can do it.
is not sold in any stores. And if you act fast, you can get Dave's favorite insults absolutely free with your order.
You schmuck. Kiss my tuchus.
This is for you, Martin.
I hear you tried to donate your brain to science, but they were only taking used ones. I don't take the broom out of your hands when you're trying to do your job. I hear you're 1 foot short of a yard sale. There was a lot of testosterone in my marriage. Too bad none of it was mine. I married a trophy wife, but I couldn't afford to mount her. I had 2 feet of snow on my car, so my wife offered me her broom. I said, thanks, but you're going to have to teach me how to fly it first. Got any complaints? Go to hell and wait.
The perfect way to close out the year. Dave's Hits of 2017.
That's all, folks.
Aha! Aha! What do you know from funny, you...
Okay, that was for you, Martin.
Yeah.
Are you okay now?
Thanks. I don't know. I dialed 199 4 times.
199. There it is. See, it's 911. I know you know that, but I hate to mess with your head. Like I say, you're 1 foot short of a yard sale. So hey, what can I tell you? There you go. So what do you got anything to say after all this?
Yeah. In fact, I forgot the man I was going to talk about. The one who just was let go. Was he the Secretary of Defense or whatever he was? Oh, the one who said he's going to testify.
Oh, you're talking about Bolton, John Bolton. Yeah.
Yes,
what about him?
John Bolton.
Yeah.
Man, I forgot his name. That was so shocking.
I had a chance to meet that guy once about 13 years ago, and I don't know why. He walked around the corner at Fox News. I happened to be there, and I wanted to go see him, but he disappeared. So,
two things I need to tell you about
yes.
this. One is they say, now he's ready to testify. He's going to go after Trump. No, I do not believe that's what's going on.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think what's going on here is that in this particular trial, the Republicans will be in charge of it, and you won't have the crazies that are running loose, to do it. So he knows that everyone's going to get a fair shake if they were to have him come and witness. So he's not worried about getting up in front of people. I think that's the main thing, because he had a friend who was on Fox News talking about how that he asked him earlier if he knew anything about this Ukraine business, and he had said no.
Right.
So he really doesn't have anything to say. And then the other thing I wanted to point out is that you and we always think that it takes a while for things to go really bad. Like if we were to turn socialist, it takes a while before they ever started tightening the screws down like they do in Venezuela, etc. But just like in the Bible, it didn't take any time at all. The first son that was born was a murderer.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't take any. Look at the way they're treating other people. They took away everybody's rights in the trial they had by the Democrats. Their people go and rouse people and charge them and tell us, get rid of these people. They don't belong here.
Yeah.
Make them feel terrible.
You're deplorable and irredeemable. Okay, what does the word irredeemable mean to you? As a Jew, I have a special meaning for that. But Christians ought to figure this out too. When you're irredeemable, you are not worthy of living.
Yeah. Right.
That means
Christ and his sacrifice wasn't good enough for you.
Right.
You're so bad that even he couldn't save you.
Yeah. Right.
So, But I just thought, that in what we're watching, and we're getting all the signs of it, is that they are ready to come with the screws down the second they get a chance for power. And it won't be any blink of time at all.
Yeah.
It won't
No, you're right. I have to agree with you on that. You're a very good caller, even though you can't control your laughter. I want you to know. I want everybody to know here that I missed a note or two during my singing on purpose. I don't want any pressure to do this for a living. Okay. Every once in a while, I do stand-up comedy, and I'd flub it intentionally so that people wouldn't pressure me to go on the road. I didn't want to do that, you see. And I don't want to be doing concerts, and I know I could sell them out in a minute. But I don't want to do that anymore, Come on.
We love your laugh, Martin.
Hey, I've got to say one thing about you, though. Something happened when you sang that never happens in life. You didn't just miss a note, you missed a bar. And you never missed a bar.
Wait a minute. I never miss a bar. I might have dropped off the stool once in a while. I'll tell you what. I tell you what, I'm like a talented drunk. My potential is staggering. How's that one? All right, get off my phone and all right, don't laugh too hard. I need your business at McDonald's, okay?
You don't want them to blow out a lung or nothing.
Yeah.
Have a good week.
And that's, ladies and gentlemen, why I only do one show a week. Okay? Yeah, I mean the prep for one show. Everybody's saying, "Oh, that's easy." I mean, if you saw what I did actually, and Stan actually does a lot too, and Jesse, and very appreciative of being here. And we have a caller. How about that? All righty. And so I just appreciate being here and being able to do this, and the fact that I got a lot of listeners. Hi there. Welcome to the Dave Weinbaum Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Jim.
Oh, hi, Jim. How you doing, buddy?
James. Doing fine. Thank you for asking, Dave.
Oh, you're welcome.
Hey, I got, and I'm sorry to hear about your wife. I hope she's going to be okay and everything. But anyway.
Well, me too.
I hope you do. Come on, you haven't been married that long.
What are you trying to say? Oh man, I hate to ask personal questions because I could get you in trouble.
I'm not. I mean, I didn't mean to. That's what
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway. Let's go to Nancy Pelosi. Anyway, she's.
No, that's not my wife. Let's keep the record clear.
You mean you weren't married to Nancy?
No, no, one of the few that I hadn't married. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah. Anyway, she's a lunatic. She's totally out of it. I just got one on Facebook where she, and you've already said it, but they accused Trump of being a terrorist.
Yeah.
And, assassinating that general over there.
Yeah.
And it's really sad. I got another one today. I'm going to change the subject a little bit, for a little bit. Marlin Firearms Company. Are you familiar with them?
No.
Very old.
Standing.
I am. Yeah.
What about them?
They're closing.
Why?
They got bought out by a group that is basically owned by cirrhosis.
You mean Soros?
Cirrhosis is a disease. Soros is a disease too, but it's a different kind.
Man, I mean, which kid hasn't gotten a gun?
Well, that's not the only one.
Yeah. Oh, he's buying up all the gun companies?
Working on getting gun control. They're going to own the manufacturers.
Oh.
This really bothers me. Now, another company that's already shut down was Dakota a lot of people haven't heard of that. They made old Western revolvers, single action revolvers. They've already shut them down, and there was a couple other ones. I should have wrote them down, but I didn't.
Well, you've got 11 states right now that are either out there confiscating weapons or considering it right now, including Missouri, by the way. Yeah, Parsons.
Wow.
No, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't have hard information about this, but I've had people tell me about Parsons wanting to confiscate guns. So we've got it even in our own state here. All right, what else you got for me? I got to get going here, my friend.
Okay, well, you know why England is so wet?
Do I know why England is so wet? Why is England so wet?
Because the kings and queens reign there so long.
Well, you know what? They're about to have a problem there.
Yeah.
Just remember this. Ideas are kings. Their sources, commoners. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Jail. All right, we're back on the show, and I think probably you got anything?
Starting this year, Toyota and Lexus luxury models will come with Amazon Alexa.
Alexa, turn on the AC.
Turning on AC.
Finally, a virtual assistant to help you navigate.
Alexa, where's the nearest gas station?
Nearest gas station in 1.5 miles.
And to help maintain your vehicle.
Alexa, order more brake pads.
Ordering new brake pads. Although maybe if you didn't stop so close to the car in front of you.
I left plenty of room.
You drive too aggressively.
If you were just quiet for 2 seconds.
She'll talk to you literally the entire time you're driving.
I think you should have turned back there.
I know where I'm going!
Hi. You know why I pulled you over?
No, officer, I have...
Because we were driving 72 miles per hour in a 45 mile per hour zone.
Anything else I should know?
2 miles back, we rolled through a stop sign without coming to a complete stop. Also, there are illegal fireworks in the trunk.
Sir, I'm going to need you to step out of the car, please.
Amazon Alexa. You'll never get away from her.
So I have a question. If Alexa says we drove through a stop sign, shouldn't the manufacturers of Alexa also get a ticket?
Well, sure.
She said we. She said he. If she said he, that would be a different thing. But she was a willing accomplice at that point.
Well, absolutely.
I want them to sue the manufacturers of Alexas. Who is that? Amazon? I don't know.
Yeah,
there you go.
sure.
Hi there. Welcome to the Dave Weinbaum Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Chester from north of Doolittle again.
What did I do wrong?
One clarification on Parsons, Governor Parsons.
Yeah.
He is not, at least at this point, he is not supporting confiscation of firearms. What's happening is that you've got a lot of you've got the city mayors of Kansas City and St. Louis and I think Columbia. They're all talking about we need to do some common sense gun control because what they really want to do is they want to fight crime, but that immediately translates to confiscation of firearms if you're in a big city.
Yeah.
So as they're discussing the various options, the governor is willing to listen to various laws concerning, tougher dealing with criminals, keeping people in jail longer, maybe like instead of letting them out in St. Louis, they're letting them out on bail now right away. Without even holding them. Even if without bail, they let them out on their own recognizance, and then they go and commit other crimes. The media, however, keeps reporting that as being that Parsons is supporting gun control. No, not at least. That discussion has not gone anywhere near there, and everywhere where it has been mentioned so far, he is not in support of any kind of gun confiscation. Although they are discussing the red flag laws, which are a big problem.
Yeah.
Do you know what the red flag laws are?
Tell the audience.
Okay. Red flag laws are like, okay, we can have people say that, hey, this guy's a troublemaker. He's beating his wife or he's threatening his neighbor's dogs and so on. So we'll call the police, and they'll go and they'll confiscate his firearms. And, of course, the problem is, well, wait a minute. Now, what kind of an accusation is this? How legit is this complaint?
Well, there's supposed to be due process.
Exactly.
Right.
That's why it's a problem. Another one is where they want to impose special restrictions. Now, they like to say if you're threatening your wife, if you're a wife beater, we're gonna take away your firearms forever. You go, wait a minute now. Is beating your wife a misdemeanor or a felony? If it's a felony, then convict the guy like you ought to, throw his butt in jail, and he'll be banned from owning a firearm for the rest of his life.
Okay.
But what they do is they want to start creating misdemeanor or they want to twist misdemeanor laws on other things, like
Chester,
maybe you threaten somebody,
then
they want to expand the punishment to a felony-type punishment. This is where you get
You and I
twisted.
both know, and I think a lot of the audience knows, this is all BS. Confiscating guns does not work.
Oh, absolutely.
Every criminal that wants a gun can get it like buying candy.
Absolutely.
Okay, they're available, and they always will be. Always. It's good guys are going to have their guns taken away so they can't protect themselves from bad guys.
Exactly.
It's plain
That's
and simple.
why none
And
of it
bad
makes any
guys,
sense.
I include the government in on that. And by the way, car break-ins in San Francisco, maybe even in L.A., and I meant to talk about this with DeAnna, car break-ins are not, it's not a crime unless you can prove your doors were locked. They can smash your glass in.
Yes.
All right, and in California, you can steal as much as $950, and it's okay. Can't arrest you for that.
Right, because it's considered not a felony.
Yeah, I mean,
that's where the old.
It's
crazy.
crazy.
This is how all this kind of stuff gets twisted. Now, when I was a kid in grade school,
oh my God,
I
that's
was
a long time
already
ago.
aware of. I'm almost your age.
I know.
I remember that if you left a car with the keys in the ignition, and that car was stolen, you, as the owner of the car, could be would receive a ticket and a fine. However, that was in addition to the criminal act of the guy stealing the car.
Right,
He was
okay.
never excused.
Right, okay.
He was still a car thief.
But
It's
now
just
they're
that
excused.
You contributed to it.
Right.
Never did anybody intend idiocy like what they're doing in California, whereby the fact that if you did not lock your car, that excuses everything. And now further, you have to prove that you locked the car.
Yeah. How do you do that?
So if I smash into your car, and I could break your windows anyway, but all I have to do is I have to unlock the car then and leave it that way, and you can't prove that car was locked.
All right, Chester.
Welcome to California.
Thank you so much. Hi to Martha. I appreciate the call and the additional information. And you're always welcome on the Dave Weinbaum Show. Call the show, everybody. I have no interviews left. How about that? But I do have breaks. Yes, I know that. All right, we're going to do that right now. But remember the phone number because I can talk to you. I have no pressure. 573-364-4433. Get it off your chest.
Why settle for the forecast when you can control it? Hartley's Climate Control is your locally owned heating, air conditioning, plus so much more company. Hartley's offers residential and commercial sales, service, and installation in the areas of heating and cooling, hearth and home, handyman services, and more to the Rolla, St. James, and surrounding areas. Call 573-368-3163 or visit them online at www.hartleyscc.com. Hartley's Climate Control, community-born, community-raised, community serving.
If you're in the food business and your walk-in cooler quits, do you think you can call just any heating and refrigeration guy to fix it? Think again. Time is money, and you don't want to have to wait while an air conditioner repairman tries to figure out what's wrong. At Cox Brothers, Food Equipment Repair is who we are. We have the specialized training and know-how to protect your expensive and fragile inventory while we repair your broken equipment. When you need food service repairs, go right to the experts. Cox Brothers Food Equipment Repair in St. James. We'll keep the hot side hot and the cold side cold.
It's been over 35 years since Muffler Mart has opened their doors. Marty, Keith, and Carl combined have over 120 years of auto experience. The name says Muffler Mart, but they do it all. Thousands of customers have done business with Muffler Mart because they do what they say they're going to do. Woo! The next time you need work on your vehicle, head to Muffler Mart on Highway 63 South, across from Phelps County Fairgrounds in Rolla. For appointments, call 364-5434. That's 364-5434. Muffler Mart in Rolla.
Los Arcos Mexican Restaurant and Tequila Bar in Rolla offers authentic Mexican food at great prices. Open at 11 a.m. Stop by for lunch or dinner. Lunch specials every day. And don't forget about Margarita Monday. Whether you have a small group, a large party, or you want to carry out, Los Arcos can accommodate. Located at 1212 Highway 72 East in Rolla. Affordable food with margaritas that taste great every time. You know you're dining on the finest ingredients at Los Arcos. Call for reservations at 573-426-4388.
Windows 7 will go end of life on January 14th, 2020 and become a liability to users. Computers running this unsupported operating system will become vulnerable to data breaches, ransomware, and other security threats. This fraud can cause major inconveniences and recovery costs, along with legal and regulatory liabilities. Call A1 Tecarala LLC at 573-458-9175 before it's too late, and your transition to a supported system will be made easy. 573-458-9175.
If you've watched Storage Wars, you know how smelly and moldy your valuables can get. Daniel's climate-controlled units ends all that. It's like a spa for your stuff. Call Investment Realty at 364-4050 and reserve a unit for Daniel's climate-controlled and secure storage. That's 364-4050.
When you're ready to find the best steak in Rolla, head over to Sydney's at 707 North Pine in downtown Rolla. All their steaks are aged 30 days and hand-cut to perfection. This weekend is Ribeye Weekend. Get a 16-ounce ribeye steak with Sydney's signature spice blend and 2 sides only $14.99. And choose Sydney's with over 100 different whiskeys, scotches, and bourbons and over a dozen draft beers to complement the best steak around. Call 426-3707 for reservations. Lunch specials on Facebook. Open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 1:30 a.m. daily.
Follow me at DaveWeinbaum.net, at The Dave Weinbaum on Twitter, and streaming live on the Dave Weinbaum Show Facebook page.
And the reason he's dead, he signed his own death warrant. He miscalculated Donald Trump. After the contractor was killed from Shia militia controlled by Soleimani, the president made a decision that he would not tolerate any more attacks against American interest. And we caught the guy red-handed planning another attack, and the president killed him, and the world is safer. And to my Democratic colleagues, every commander-in-chief has the inherent authority to protect our troops in the field. He had all the authorization he needs. And to Congresswoman Omar, what would you want the president to do? Sit on the sidelines and watch people get killed?
Yeah, there you go. Hi there. Welcome to the Dave Weinbaum Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Brian from Salem.
Hey,
and
Brian.
yes, I think Congressman Omar probably would like him to sit by and watch people get killed, because she's a traitor, if you ask me.
Oh, of course she is.
Yeah.
And
this
we
is
need
why.
to remember what the constitutional definition of a traitor is.
Yeah.
It is someone who gives aid and comfort to the enemies of the United States.
You got it.
That's all it takes.
Well, you might have an arguably a case against many of the Democrats right now.
Oh, yes, I agree.
But
Most of
Ilhan
them.
Omar and Tlaib, Rashida Tlaib and AOC and the rest of the squids or the squad, they are giving aid to the enemies. And I wonder if this investigation from Barr and Durham is going to go into that, because I believe it will. Now that's where you got some meat
to say that, because and to bring that to light, because the American people are dangerously close to being taken over by all kinds of nasty government and things that aren't even government right now, if we don't wake up and realize who has the strings of power here. And if we could figure, if the American people saw that, there would be massive vote outs in the next election. You'd see not a Democrat getting back in, except maybe one or two from the left coast or the crazy coast.
Well, that's why I have a radio show, and that's why you're calling the radio show. And if you get enough people to listen and check the facts out, enough people did to elect Donald J. Trump. There wasn't enough information back then, and there was a lot of misinformation back then, and he still got elected. There's hope for America.
Yes,
okay?
I agree. Yes. If we will keep looking for, keep our eyes open for the bad things that are going on and not bury our head in the sand, that's where we're going to get into trouble.
Yeah, and Laura Loomer told the truth about Ilhan Omar, about AOC, about Rashida Tlaib, and for that, the Muslim Brotherhood got her banned for life from Twitter and Facebook. Did you know that?
No.
And now
the Muslim Brotherhood got her banned? Well,
Yes.
how did they get anybody banned?
Well, that's a good question. They went to the owners of Twitter, one of whom was a Saudi prince, was at one time at least the major stockholder of Twitter, and got her lifetime banned. And I don't know how she got banned at Facebook, but I follow her, and I if she was lying about stuff or anything like that, I would know. And she's not. She's telling the truth, and the truth is just coming out, like you said, about what Ilhan Omar is saying. This is what she was talking about.
But you also have to remember, too, that these tech giants, Google and all the other big companies on the Internet like that, they are censoring search results. They are shadow banning people who don't have their views. I mean, it is disgusting.
Sure. It is control of the populace and the elections right there. You want people that are swaying elections. Google tried to do it and came close to doing it.
Well, if you look at the other tech giants and what they're doing, we really, us American people, are so convenience and gadget-driven, I guess you could say, that most of us are not going to take a stand and say, I'm not using this or that particular company because they shadow ban people.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Americans just seem to don't care.
Well, I'm guilty of that, and I'll tell you why. Despite all the pain in the butt situations I get into on on Twitter and Facebook, there isn't that many, and I get the word out about the show. So if I just cut them off, I cut off a whole huge audience to my show. So maybe that's being a weasel a little bit about it, but either I want a radio show or I don't. So I'm playing by their rules until I figure out a way to fight back.
Yeah, it'd be nice if there was a conservative Amazon and a conservative eBay and a conservative Google and a conservative other things out there.
Well, I'm too old to create that stuff. So, Brian, you got yourself a job, my friend. Listen, I got to go.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
See you later.
Great weekend to you. Thanks for calling again. Another star of the Dave Weinbaum Show right there, Brian from Salem.
Thank you.
Anyways, I think you got anything for me?
Yeah.
All right, you will.
We will do what has never been done. Scan the household pet's mind to translate his thoughts into words. Now, the subject today will be my own dog, Max. Max, speak.
Woof, woof, woof. Hi, I'm Max. It's me, Max. I like park and leash, and I like Trump. He's my man. Donald Trump is our president. He carried the Electoral College fair and square.
This can't be right. Did you know your dog likes Trump?
He doesn't.
I absolutely do. I know Trump has issues, but one big change is better than business as usual. The Dow is up 2,700 points since he was elected. What's not to like?
I'm sorry, but you're just a dog. You don't know what you're talking about.
Excuse me, Helen, but yes, I do. Stinking helmet. Can't believe you put this on me.
I can't believe you're saying this. You're supposed to be my best friend.
And as your friend, I don't want to see your tax dollars going to health care for illegals.
Explode. What about his record on women's rights? Don't you want me to have a choice over my own body?
You didn't afford me a choice when you cut off my balls.
I laugh at that, and I get a little twinge too. I get a little twinge in a private place. I don't like to hear that. All right. So, anyways, we're back. We're back here on the show, and we're going to do a break here shortly. And I wanted to say something, but I forgot what I was going to say. So I think we're going to take a break. We've got a lot of free time now because I did my interviews early.
Right.
That's not a bad way to do it, actually. And then I can get the callers because callers seem to want to hear you first, and that's why Rush and Hannity don't take a lot of callers at first. Maybe I'm learning. I'm still learning here.
Yeah, your monologue was longer today than normal.
Yeah, it was.
That was good, though.
I thought it was. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. But we're going to take a break right now and come back. And I've got a special health. I've got a special health alert because it's getting to be like flu season and things like that. And we're gonna show you how to avoid having bad disease here. And it's a very simple thing to do.
Right.
So I think everybody can do it. So call the show 573-364-4433. Get it off your chest.
Welcome to the greatest rock and roll show on earth. Tonight's feature is Melrose Asphalt and Quarry, featuring their greatest hits, guaranteed low prices, guaranteed work, and their #1 hit, locally owned and operated. So call and get your tickets to the greatest rock and roll show on earth. Melrose Asphalt and Quarry, 364-9101. That's 364-9101. Melrose Asphalt is a local business and not an actual rock band.
Hi, this is Sarah Weinbaum, massage therapist at Lavish Day Spa, formerly known as Terra Day Spa. Come visit me at our all-new location on North Bishop next to Steak and Shake. Come take your stress and worries away with our full-service salon and day spa, featuring discounts on Dermalogica and other skincare items offered with a purchase of a facial. New location, same number, 364-0905. Come sail away at Lavish Day Spa in Rolla.
Does your trip to the dentist office sound like this? If so, it's time to come see the friendly staff at Forum Dental, where they make dentistry simple and fun. Forum Dental is committed to patient satisfaction and high-quality dental care. So come to Forum Dental, where they do it all, from teeth cleaning and whitening to bridges and crowns and so much more. At Forum Dental, they make every dental experience a pleasant one. Forum Dental, working together to be better. Visit their website at forumdental.com.
Every business needs just the right sign to get people into your business. Missouri Neon Outdoor is here to help. Missouri Neon Outdoor has been family-owned and serving the Ozarks for 80 years. Outdoor advertising remains one of the most cost-effective ways for businesses to build awareness and drive customers to their door. And they offer billboard coverage in over 25 counties in southwest Missouri. Missouri Neon Outdoor has an expert creative staff that can design a great look for you. Call today for available locations in your area. 1-800-788-1778.
Start the year off right at Fairground Auto Plaza in Rolla. You don't want to miss out on the New Year savings and all remaining 2019 cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. Right now, save up to $9,512 on the all-new 2019 Silverado Crew Cab LT All-Star Z71, or choose 0% APR for 72 months on select 2019 Silverados. Come check out everything Fairground Auto Plaza has to offer. Visit Fairground Auto Plaza at 100 Fairgrounds Road in Rolla. Chevy, find new roads.
This is Rick Miller at Null & Son Funeral Home in Rolla. Since 1924, Null & Son Funeral Home has had the honor of serving families throughout Phelps County. Today, families can select a funeral service, burial, or cremation and have it tailored to fit their specific needs in order to honor the memory of their loved one in a personal and meaningful way. At Null & Son Funeral Home, we offer information that will help you make decisions that are just right for you and your family.
Follow me at DaveWeinbaum.net, at The Dave Weinbaum on Twitter, and streaming live on the Dave Weinbaum Show Facebook page.
The Iranians have been escalating dramatically and systematically as well. So it started with seized oil tankers, attacks on Saudi oil facilities. Remember, they embarrassed our U.S. Navy by actually capturing a number of sailors and posting that all over the internet.
Yep.
Right? Then we went on to shooting down our drones and then attacking our bases and then actually confronting and attacking our embassy. So we have to be careful with our terminology here. The Iranians are not talking about responding. They're talking about continuing to escalate. We are the ones who had to respond to that. We had to disrupt that escalation ladder that was taking place, and we were fully justified in doing so. World War III, that kind of language, it's a straw man argument used by the left, okay, because they're not really principled when they look at this problem. They just want to be against whatever Donald Trump is doing. Mm-hmm. And so they'll use overheated terminology like World War III when they know that's completely dishonest.
Senator Bernie Sanders, running to try to be the commander-in-chief, used a particular word talking about the strike of Soleimani. Take a listen.
This guy is, was as bad as he was an official.
of the Iranian government. If Russia does that, Russia has been implicated under Putin with assassinating dissidents. So once you're in the business of assassination, you unleash some very, very terrible forces.
So now President Trump is like Putin in committing assassinations? He's very intentional about
dissidents.
Of dissidents.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Bernie has called Trump a lot of things. I guess this is the first time he's called him Putin. So legally speaking, Bernie is way off base here. It's not considered an assassination if it's a legitimate military target. In this case, a military target that is also in charge of a designated terrorist organization who is actively committing attacks against us.
Congressman Ben Crenshaw, who's pretty good, an ex Army guy. I don't know what he was. Military, right? Yeah. He's got his eye blown out somehow. He wears an eye patch. Yeah. And, Iran may just attack again. I think they're regrouping right now and trying to figure out how they do this without getting the leaders' butts killed. Don't you think, Stan?
Probably so.
Yeah. So, let's see. Next thing. Prince Harry and his wife, Meghan Markle, are moving to Hollywood and or Canada, and you would think the royal family's falling apart. Man. I wonder what the average Brit thinks that paid for the wedding of these people, probably well over $1 million, or £1 million, excuse me. Hi there, welcome to the Dave Weinbaum Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Lisa, and I'm calling from Rolla.
Lisa. Okay, hold on. I don't have you on my list.
Weinbaum, if you want to look.
Oh, Weinbaum!
Yeah.
Oh, Lisa Weinbaum.
I was going to tell you, this is the most important.
Did I give you the day off for something or what?
Well, I just wanted to say that, Malcolm and Ralphie and I are listening in today.
Really?
And we got to say that you and Stan are doing a superb job.
Well, thank you.
And I think the supervising from home thing is working out really well.
Oh, you expect this to be counted as a day of work? Are you out of your mind?
Well, yeah.
So tell them I'm taking care of you, right?
Yes, you are, dear.
I even gave you a bath.
You're not suffering quite as badly.
Should we talk about something as intimate as me giving you a bath?
You scrub my back, honey.
I scrubbed your back. I scrubbed a few other parts too, I looked around for the toys you wanted, the rubber ducky and all that. I didn't see any. I just don't know where you hide those.
Well, why don't you pick something up? Bring something home and surprise me.
You want me to get you a toy? Oh, come on! This is live radio, baby. I can't be talking about that stuff like that.
Oh, you're at the end of the show. We can do it.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right, carry on.
Oh, yes, dear. I'll do my best without you.
Get well soon.
I'm going to do it. I hope you feel better, honey. I miss you.
Love you. Bye.
All right. Get off my phone. Thank you. Okay. So anyways, that's my loving wife, Lisa. Well, I'm sure, hopefully, you did not hear the last couple words that I said. Anyways, here we go. We've got this health alert, and I want you to listen closely to this because it's got, it's a flu season. And some of you have your flu shots, don't have your flu shots. But, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So listen in.
Brother bought a coconut, he bought it for the dime. His sister had another one, she paid it for the lime. She put the lime in the coconut, she drank and poured up. She put the lime in the coconut, she drank and poured up. She put the lime in the coconut, she drank and poured up. She put the lime in the coconut, she called the doctor, woke him up and said, Doctor, ain't there nothing I can take? I said, Doctor,
everybody,
his bellyache. I said, Doctor, ain't there nothing I can take? I said, Doctor, relieve his bellyache.
Now let me get this straight. Put the lime in the coconut, you drank and poured up. Put the
lime in the coconut,
you drank and poured up. Put the
lime in the coconut,
drank and poured up. Put the lime
in the coconut,
you called your doctor,
woke him up.
Said, Doctor, ain't there nothing I can take? I said,
Doctor,
to relieve his bellyache. I said,
Doctor,
ain't there nothing I can take? I said,
Doctor. Hey, how's that? Okay, I think we saved. I think we saved a lot of people right there, and I think we're going to. We're going to increase the purchase of coconuts and limes. I'll tell you what.
Well, except for my daughter, I have a daughter that's allergic to coconuts, so I don't think that would help her any.
Well, you got to watch that too, because I don't know. I don't know about people and their allergies, so you got to watch that. You got to make sure that you don't do anything that's going to be make you allergic.
Yeah, that's right.
That's not good. Yeah. Anyways, I thought I was allergic to marriage, but now I'm not. You see? I really did. I thought I was allergic to it. So what are you going to do?
Well, with all these negatives out there, we got to remember this supporter.
Yes.
Here.
Remarks to all of the Trump haters, all of the Hillary Clinton supporters, all of the people that said that my Trump was going to lose. So I say to you this morning, the day after the election.
It's kind of like Martin's laugh.
Yeah. Martin, is that you? You know what? If I ever do stand-up comedy again, Martin's going to be on one side and this guy's going to be on the other.
Yeah.
You can't fail.
No,
I don't care what you say. Hey, the sun's shining outside. I mean, you get it from stereo, both sides.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh my God, people can't help but laugh.
That's true.
Laughter is so contagious. That's contagious.
Yeah, it is.
And so is misery. Watch CNN once in a while. I dare you to watch a whole show because you're all talking like this, and Trump is this, and Trump is that. And MSNBC, yes, he's a terrible person. He needs to be impeached now. He needs to be impeached, and the people that follow him, they're dirty Walmart shoppers, and they smell bad, and they're deplorable, and they're irredeemable. See, that's what you hear all day. Yeah. How long can you? I don't understand how long a Democrat can listen to that stuff.
Yeah, really.
Much less a person like me. But I force myself because why? It's kind of my job. You want to play the last extra, please?
Okay.
It's a Hannity, I believe, on appeasement.
You can't live in fear. Second, you can't bribe your sworn enemies into liking you. That is called appeasement. Appeasement, when you try it, always results in further aggression. What you're doing is you're literally teaching our enemies how to blackmail you. Iranian aggression must be checked or it will get worse, and it has gotten worse and worse and worse. They must know their hostile actions have consequences, and they don't get to shoot at our drones and take them out of the sky. They don't get to take oil tankers hostage in the very narrow Straits of Hormuz. They don't get to disrupt the world's oil supply, the lifeblood of the world's economy, by then hitting the Saudis so they can make more money. They don't get to kill our fellow Americans in Iraq. They don't get to actively plot the murder of American State Department employees abroad. They don't get to orchestrate the attacks on our embassy, our family, our U.S. family, our interest, American territory.
And they don't get to capture our boats in international waters and make the sailors sit there on their knees with their hands behind their head where they're holding AK-47s to their heads. They don't get to do that. You do it once, there's a problem. Okay? That's why I like Donald Trump. He has the same view on bullies that I do. All right? And I grew up with this. It's ingrained in me that I know what I can spot one immediately. And usually if a guy's going to want to take me on, unless they're mentally ill, they're not going to be big guys. Okay, it'll be a smaller guy. But if a guy is a bully, he's going to be bigger than me. All right? If he's really coming after me, then he's a wuss. And I know it. And I know it almost instinctively. Every once in a while you're wrong, but 99% of the time it's like Iran talking and blustering and things like that. I think Israel could level them, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And Moshe thinks they're kind of a joke, but they can be dangerous.
Right.
But the USA, they know they're outgunned. Trump knew that they were outgunned.
Right.
He wasn't taking any chances, or very, very limited chance. And now they say they're going to attack places like Mar-a-Lago, okay, which is where Trump lives, and our friend Laura Loomer running for Congress there.
Right.
And their congresswoman doesn't care, okay? It's Mar-a-Lago, but it's going to take out a lot of the citizens and kill a bunch of jobs there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I love the show. I think it was a great show, and I hope everyone else here liked it. And I hope you're not the weather's going to be good by you. Ain't going to be no golf around here for a couple of days. Dang it! I love playing golf in the winter.
Do you?
You know, I absolutely get out. I don't like playing in real cold weather, but maybe it's the low 50s, maybe high 40s. If the sun is out, I don't mind. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
You're
and
not sweating, right?
Well, no, I'm not sweating. And I'll take the summer. I mean, you hit the ball about 50, 60 yards longer with the same swing. Exactly. But I don't mind. Yeah. And we'll just say goodbye to my wife at home. Lisa, I did it. I got through it without you, Lisa. Next week, folks, Dave Weinbaum Show. We'll be back with another edition. You guys have a great weekend. Thanks so much. That'll be a good show.